Greetings from Cambria Heights High School in Patton, Pennsylvania. Tonight, the Homer Center Wildcats and the Cambria Heights Highlanders in a rematch from a game played back on October 7th, but this time it's win or go home in the District 6 Class A quarterfinals. With Ward Hilliard, I'm Mark Burdig as we welcome you to our ITT pregame show on WCCS AM 1160, 101.1 FM, and on Renda Digital TV. If you'd like to watch tonight's game, just log on to our website, WCCSradio.com, and look for the link to Renda Digital TV, or just log on to YouTube.com and in the search engine type in Renda Digital TV. So, Ward, you've had a lot of driving today. You had a family function down in Virginia, and you hustled your way back for this playoff game and an interesting matchup. First time since 2014 that the Homer Center Wildcats will be on the road to open the playoffs. This is their 7th straight playoff appearance, 8th time in 9 years. Wildcat fans have been blessed with a lot of success.
Yeah, sure have, and they need to build on that too, Mark. That's something that really needs to take place there. They got to have a little more confidence in what they're doing and how they're doing it. They played a pretty good game against the weak team last week, so hopefully some of that will carry over into tonight. I thought the first meeting, Homer made a good account of themselves, but they lost their quarterback again, and they lost Angelo Alexander, and that kind of took the wind out of their sails, so to speak. Cambria Heights, you don't want to give them any breaks. They just took control of the game after that.
They certainly did. Homer Center jumped out to a 12-0 lead in the first quarter, scoring on their first 2 possessions. And then Cambria Heights answered. That was a big part of the game after the second Homer Center score. The Wildcats actually outgained Cambria Heights in the first quarter, 138-5, and dominated play. But boy, did things shift. Cambria Heights turned the table over the final 3 quarters and outgained Homer Center 303-39. And a big part of that was Angelo Alexander exiting the game, Homer Center's backup quarterback. They had already lost starter Cole McAnulty. Riley Clevenger thrust into a difficult situation without many reps, and Homer Center's offense just couldn't get anything going. And that, coupled with Highlanders quarterback Ty Stockley, who's also their leading tackler defensively, he carried 30 times for 239 yards, scoring 4 touchdowns. He attempted only 2 passes in the game, but with his legs, he really didn't need to throw the ball, didn't he?
No, he controlled the game after that. He did. He scored for the Cambria Heights quite frequently. He had Homer on the ropes. They could not stop him. They just could not adjust to what he was doing. Didn't need to throw the ball. Homer can't allow that to happen here again tonight. I know Stockley's back. We think he's going to quarterback. I don't know if he's going to do that, or they might play somewhere else. We'll see.
Well, I was told by the locker room that he will play quarterback tonight, but that came from a coach, and sometimes you always don't get the truth. But let's see as warm-ups go on. I see Weiland at midfield, the backup, actually throwing passes right now. So we'll see, and our spotter, Denny Mestra, can check during warm-ups and see how many passes Stockley takes. Word, to your point about Stockley, because we didn't address it, he got hurt the very next week in a loss at Penns Manor, a game that Cambria Heights was controlling early, and then he went out and things kind of turned. So it was amazing from one week to the other. Cambria Heights was kind of the beneficiary of an unfortunate injury at Homer Center's quarterback position, and then they were bit with the injury bug in that loss at Penns Manor. It ended up 42-33, but they were kind of dominating that football game early on. And Stockley, he's missed the Penns Manor game, the West Shamokin game, and then the loss last week to Northern Bedford, although he did dress and served as the holder. But he's still their leading tackler defensively with over 100 tackles.
He's a terrific athlete. There's no question. He should be all-county. I'm sure that'll occur. As we said, he can control the football game if he's allowed to do so. So the Wildcats, obviously, they're aware of it. They probably had to make some adjustments based on the tape. We'll see what happens tonight. But the key, Mark, I think, is Homer needs to move the football themselves. They kind of sputtered. They quit. After that injury to Alexander, they were driving. They had a chance to go up maybe 3 scores. didn't happen, and the whole game swung. They can't allow that again.
We have a jam-packed ITT pregame show. You'll hear from both coaches. For the Cambria Heights Highlanders, Jared Lewis in his 12th season, 63-64 record, 2-0 against Homer Center. Greg Page in his 16th season, 110-66, 625 winning percentage, 0-2 against Cambria Heights. We'll have Luther Ford's keys to the game and the starting lineups and a lot more insight during our ITT pregame shows. We come to you from our S&T Bank broadcast booth, relationship banking, one customer at a time. Before we go to break and come back with Jared Lewis, the road to Mansion Park in the District 6 championship game, other quarterfinal games tonight. Penns Manor hosting Glendale, that game being heard on our affiliate, U92.5 FM, and video streamed on Renda Digital TV. Juniata Valley is hosting Portage, and Northern Cambria ends up the number 2 seed with Cambria Heights' loss last week and the Colts win at Conemaugh Township it was. So the Colts will host 7th seeded Moshannon Valley. The winner of that game will play the winner of this game, and next week in the semifinals, Glendale Penns Manor winner will play the Portage Juniata Valley winner, and that's the way tonight's action. All 4 games being played on this Friday night. They used to split things up, 2 Friday, 2 Saturday, but official availability and a lot of factors have changed that. When our ITT pregame show continues, you will hear, and on Renda Digital TV, you'll see Homer Center Wildcat head coach Greg Page. But prior to that, we have an audio interview with the Cambria Heights head coach Jared Lewis. We'll do that and more as we continue right here on a beautiful night. November 3rd, it is unbelievable here at Cambria Heights, and they do have a turf field here at Cambria Heights High School. Head coach Jared Lewis up next when we continue on the Renda Media Football Network.
The Indiana County Technology Center is now accepting enrollment in our adult education programs. The ICTC's adult education programs offer in-demand post-secondary programs tailored to empower student success. From cosmetology to welding and practical nursing, the ICTC has a program for everyone. Indiana County Technology Center, empowering tomorrow's workforce.
At IRMC, we have all of the necessary pieces in place to perform complex operations, including highly skilled and specially trained surgeons, their support team of experts, and advanced technology like the Da Vinci robotic surgical system. As a result, patients spend less time in the hospital, recover faster, and get treated close to home. So there's no reason to puzzle over where you should get your surgical care. The answer is right here at IRMC.
Business happens here, and here, and here. At First Commonwealth, we believe that to be the best bank for the businesses that create strong communities, we need to understand the way they work, see their companies firsthand, meet them face to face, and build a relationship so we can help them build their business.
Our ITT pregame show from Cambria Heights continues with head coach Jared Lewis of the Highlanders. And coach, playoff time, and we're going to have great weather for early November tonight. Just your second home playoff game in school history, right? So talk about the excitement.
Yeah, the kids are excited, and we're real excited for the community as well. This is something whenever the community really embraces our football team, and just to be able to have our second home playoff game, it's obviously a huge. Yeah, it's very exciting. It's huge for our community. It's huge for our program. And, like I said, we have a great opponent with Homer Center coming in. And, it should be a great game. And as you said, you can't ask for better weather in November than this.
Well, like Homer Center, Jared, you've had to navigate the old injury bug lately, most notably your quarterback and I think your top defensive player, Ty Stockley. And it's the thing about Class A football. And at a lot of levels at high school, quite frankly. You lose one player on one side, you really lose two. So Stockley's injured at Penn's Manor, and I know on Coach's Corner you've had a couple of others that you've been talking about and hoping to get everybody back healthy. So if you can, update Ty's situation and if he'll go tonight, and some other guys maybe that have been nicked up.
Yeah, we're expecting all of our players to play tonight, Ty included. Ty was probably a case where we could have played him last week, but he wasn't quite 100%. At this time of the year, he's as close to 100% as I'm sure anybody else is. Both teams, anytime you get to week 10, with this being week 11, you're going to have those nagging injuries, and we have them just like everybody else. But we're expecting everybody to play tonight.
Ty absolutely dominated the football game as it progressed in your first meeting against Homer Center. You got off to a slow start in that game, but you scored 31 unanswered points, dominated the final three quarters, and he was one of the big reasons why, but that's kind of in the rearview mirror right now, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I've said it, before we played Homer Center last time and after we played them. They're a good football team. They've dealt with adversity and they've overcome it. They have some fantastic players, and Coach Page does a great job. Coach Page and his staff, this team's going to be well coached. They're going to be prepared, and I'm sure they're going to, try to take away some of the things we're successful last time, and, we're going to try to do the same. There's obviously a lot of familiarity and a lot of respect between our programs.
Do you have to even address it with your team, Jared, about, hey, I know we dominated last time, but that we can't look past this team?
No, we know what Homer Center is. We know what their pedigree is. They battled us last year. They battled us in the first game. They were up 12-0, yes, in the first quarter. We had the ball one time. They had already scored twice. So we know that that's it's a good program. They had to deal with an injury there, and that can obviously change the face of a lot of games. But we're very aware of that team, and I know our kids aren't going to take them lightly. It's a team that's a very good football team, very well coached, and also, like I said, there's a lot of mutual respect between our programs.
What has to go well for you to come away with a victory and move on to the semifinals tonight?
Oh, I think we have to, we got to limit the big plays. They hit us with a couple big plays last game. Try to keep our offense on the field as much as possible. Sustain drives, and obviously winning the turnover battle obviously helps as well. But, last time we were able to, more so in the second, third, and fourth quarters, we were able to maintain the pace of the game. I thought we did a good job on the line of scrimmage, although they're pretty sound on the line of scrimmage as well. So just getting back to, keeping our offense on the field as much as possible, limiting the big plays on defense was our recipes for success last time. That's something we'll try to replicate again this week.
We talked off, Mike, about special teams too, Jared, and you have an outstanding kicker, Junzo Deckard, that can pin teams with kickoffs, a very strong leg. Nice to have that as a weapon, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Junso is his first year playing football. He never kicked a football before last spring. He's a kid that, he actually made a couple field goals, a couple games ago. And he's a kid that is a weapon. So, we want to come away with touchdowns every time we get in near the red zone. But it is comforting to know that he can put some points on the board even if we don't score touchdowns.
Coach, I appreciate you doing this. We appreciate the hospitality. Homer Center hadn't been to Cambria Heights since 1968, and here we are twice in 1 year. How about that?
Yeah. That's the fun thing that the playoffs allow, and like I said, hopefully we have a great game tonight, and we appreciate all you guys do to help cover high school football.
Well, you're one of the top coaches and one of the great staffs that you have out there at Cambria Heights. Another great season. We wish you the best of luck tonight and moving forward.
All right, thank you.
Head coach Jared Lewis of the Cambria Heights Highlanders, and we're going to come back. Speaking of the aforementioned Coach Greg Page, he's up next when our ITT pregame show continues from Cambria Heights High School in Patton right here on the Renda Media Football Network.
Hi, Wildcat fans. This is Coach Greg Page. I would like to thank Wildcat Nation for your support, and I especially want to thank the Homer City Area Athletic Booster Club for making tonight's video presentation possible. The Bears Midget program has provided a foundation for Wildcat football for decades. Through the growth of the boosters, they now impact many of our sports here at Homer Center. From our team, we say thank you, Homer City Area Athletic Booster Club, for making a big difference in our community since 1958.
Hello, this is John Lefdahl, owner and director of the John A. Lefdahl Funeral Home, wishing the Homer Center Wildcats much success in the upcoming playoffs. It's always an awesome feeling to achieve success, be it in business or in sports. You as players have made our community proud. To be a winner, it takes much dedication, time, and preparation. Give it 100%, and years from now, you'll look back with fond memories of what you have accomplished. Go get 'em, Wildcats. The John A. Lefthal Funeral Home is behind you.
Dan in a van hasn't returned your call? Chuck in a truck can't get there for 2 months? Stop dealing with fly-by-nighters and call a company that's fully capable for all your plumbing and heating needs. Joyce Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Incorporated. Joyce Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Incorporated is on call 24/7, 365 days a year. Visit us at joyceplumbing.com. That's joyceplumbing.com. Joyce Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Incorporated, the best place in town to take a leak. PA 042115.
Find your smile again with Evolutions 2 in downtown Indiana, offering hair alternatives and solutions for any lifestyle and need. Build your confidence with a personalized one-on-one consultation with experienced stylist Lisa Hunter, and take the steps to regain your life with one of Evolution 2's many hair solutions available. There is a fit for everyone, from adults to children. So call or find Evolutions 2 on Facebook. Evolutions 2 in downtown Indiana. Find your smile again.
We welcome you back to our ITT pregame show in our S&T Bank broadcast booth at Cambria Heights High School. Ward on this, third day or fourth day of November. We have 63 degrees, clear skies, sun has set. Couldn't ask for anything more.
You know, I was at Virginia Beach this morning, and the temperature there is lower than the temperature here, so it's actually warmer up north. That's kind of refreshing. And it's a beautiful night for a game here. Conditions couldn't be better, I think.
Our studio engineer on WCCS is Michael Burdig, and we thank Michael for his great work all season long. Same goes for our video producer, John Smathers, to our immediate right. Our camera operator rode out with us tonight, Senior Justly Sharp. Nothing against you and Dennis, but what a breath of fresh air in the ride here to Cambria Heights. And we want to congratulate Denny. Where's that thing I cut out? Bring that over here. I don't know if we can get this on camera or not, but we if not now, we can get it on later. We want to congratulate Justly because she was named Teen of the Week in the Indiana Gazette. John says, hold it up. I can actually do this and see if we get, yeah, there it is. I'm not holding it very straight. But Justly, where are you? Justly, Jerry, let Justly know we have her. We're talking about her, and we're congratulating her for her accomplishments. A senior at Homer Center Junior Senior High School. And Justly, get on over here because you've helped us all season long. Ward, give up that headset. All right, we're just improvising here on our ITT pregame show. I said you were a breath of fresh air in the car. I have to ride with these other guys all the time, you know, and you made it a lot of fun coming out. We had a chance to talk about your senior year. We really appreciate what you do. How have you enjoyed your experience, the games that you've worked with us?
I think it's been a really interesting opportunity. Whenever I get to tell people that I do this, they're always like, that's so interesting. I've never heard someone doing that before. So. And
we got a beautiful night. You're outside on the platform, but you're going to have a nice night. Talk about your senior year and how things are going at Homer Center.
Oh, it's been going really well at Homer Center. I think the senior year is just going great. We're all having a great time, but I think we are ready to wrap it up.
Your junior year was special. You won state medal at the track meet. Tell our viewers about that and our listeners on WCCS.
I'm a PIAA AA state champion in discus and runner-up in shot put, so I'm hoping to continue some of that success into the track season this year.
And your workout regimen, you were telling us on the way out, it's pretty intense.
Yeah, I should have lifted tonight, but instead I'm lifting tomorrow morning, so I could be here with you guys.
So how often do you have to lift?
3 days a week typically, and then I'm throwing the days that I'm not lifting right now.
That's fabulous. Well, we'll let you get back to your perch.
Awesome.
Congratulations on the award from our friends at the Indiana Gazette on Teen of the Week. That's exciting. We'll, we were holding the article and your picture up there, but now they get to see you in person here on camera.
I wasn't prepared to be on camera.
Well, that's okay. I wasn't either, so that makes two of us. Justly, thanks again for helping us, and we wish you the best of luck the rest of the way in your senior year. She's Justly Sharp. And I am Mark Burdig on our ITT pregame show. We'll get back to some more insight on tonight's game, but first we're going to take a break and come back with Homer Center Wildcat head coach Greg Page when our ITT pregame show continues from Cambria Heights. Second time, Homer Center justly hadn't been here to play football since 1968.
I didn't know that one.
And now they're here 2 times in 1 year. So hopefully the result will be better for Homer Center fans here tonight at Cambria Heights, and they can move on to the District 6 semifinals. Head coach Greg Page up next when we continue on the Renda Media Football Network.
Luxembourg's Jewelers, a proud supporter of all the area athletes, would like to wish the best of luck to all the Heritage Conference schools and, of course, the Indiana Little Indians this season. With 2 convenient locations, Luxembourg's Jewelers is the winning choice for gifts of any occasion. Show your school pride with gifts ranging from beautifully logoed coffee mugs, keychains, money clips, water bottles, and more. From the Indiana Mall to downtown Indiana, Hip, Jeff, and the Luxembourg's team wishes everyone an MVP season. Luxembourg's Jewelers is Indiana's jeweler.
Are you thinking of getting vaccinated? Talk to your doctor or pharmacist about the COVID-19 vaccine. The Health Initiative for Rural Pennsylvania would like to remind you that COVID-19 vaccines are available for children as young as 6 months. Talk to your doctor, your child's pediatrician, or your pharmacist if you have questions. You can also learn more by visiting vaccines.gov. That's vaccines.gov. Message made possible by the Health Initiative for Rural Pennsylvania.
Hi, my name is London, and this is the bus that I take to school every day. We have a really fun bus driver, and guess what? Smith Bus Company is hiring new bus drivers.
That's right, London. Smith Bus Company is hiring positions for full and part-time drivers and driver's assistants. They provide transportation for 5 area school districts, and they're proud of the work they do. Apply now at smithbusco.com, an equal opportunity employer.
You won this year's chili cook-off. Our girls played in the softball finals last spring. You're not just another policyholder to us. We remember your name. Hi, Cheryl.
He remembered my name.
Because it's your name. That's simple human sense. Jeff, Mary, Dan, Sarah.
Dan.
Welcome back to Cambria Heights High School as our ITT pregame show continues with head coach Greg Page, presented by Walbeck Insurance. More choices, more savings, Walbeck Insurance in Homer City. Coach, you finished the season on a high note, regular season that is, with a resounding 45-3 victory at Myersdale, and that had to feel good for the kids and maybe some renewed confidence heading into these playoffs.
Yeah, you know what? I thought we had a good week last week in preparation. We knew Myersdale was down a little bit. They're very young. But we went down and did what we had to do after giving up a drive early on, and they got a field goal. We were able to return the ensuing kickoff and then just kind of take control from there. It was just so good to see the happy looks on the players and the coaches, as we got wound down into the fourth quarter and knew it was going to be our game. And hopefully that did give us confidence because I felt like we had another pretty good week of practice this week too.
That's good, and we'll get to the practice week. You've kind of grown accustomed to home playoff games, at least in the opening round or two. Not the case this year with the up and down nature of the season due to the injuries and everything along those lines. So this will be the first time since 2014 that you've had to open the playoffs on the road, and you'll be an underdog against higher-seeded Cambria Heights. But as I like to say, you're only a dog if you don't believe you can win. Yeah, I'll agree with that. I mean, I think our kids believe they can win. I think we've gotten some things, win or lose, the last several weeks, we've gotten some things straightened out from that point. Make no mistake, they're a very, very good football team. They have nice size. They have good athletes. They have a good scheme. But, everybody's 0-0. That's another cliche, and we told our kids that starting Monday. We're excited. I think the pressure is off of us a little bit. I'd like to be at home, which is where we're accustomed to starting playoff seasons, but not meant to be, so we're going to go up there and give it our best shot. Any less pressure? Sometimes at home you want to really put on a show for the home fans. You're the higher seed, so I think that comes with a little bit of inherent pressure. You're the underdog role. Sometimes there's less pressure. I think so, too. I mean, to be honest with you, the way things have gone, I've told our kids a couple times, we're kind of the forgotten team. I understand that. I mean, it is what it is. You're as good as your record in most people's eyes.
we feel like we have more left in the tank. So to be able to go up there and just let all that hang out, I think is going to be a benefit for us.
Here at Cambria Heights, they play on turf. Wednesday night, you made the decision to take the kids up to Indiana Senior High. You got good cooperation from the school district up there, and you practiced on the rug.
We did. First off, thanks to Indiana's administration, athletic administration, Jared Cronauer, I believe, is a business manager, and Dan Rowan, if I'm pronouncing that right, is their AD. I went through those two guys. They were prompt. They were courteous. It was just a very a very nice setup for us, and it just was a good opportunity. I did it for two reasons. One, the obvious thing is the turf. The second reason, you just kind of mix things up a little bit. You know, it changes the routine. The kids were excited. We went up there. It was a nice day. We had everybody, all of our coaches there because some of them are coming from work right from the start, and it was just a good setup.
Coach, the Wildcats hadn't been here at Cambria Heights since 1968. You paid a visit all these years later on October 7th, and now 2 games in a season. And Riley Clevenger, your quarterback, was put in a tough spot. You'd already lost your starter, Cole McAnulty. Angelo Alexander gets knocked out for the season in that game. Riley has to come in. The offense struggled. Nothing against Riley. It was a tough spot. But talk about how he has grown since then, getting all of the reps, or most of them at least.
Yeah, you know, in that situation with Riley and even Braden Dunn and more of a limited routine, you know, first off, you got to have a guy that wants the ball, so to speak, and he does. They both do. And from there, then you start working on little nuances and techniques with the offense. I think Eric Faust has paid a lot of attention over the last several weeks with our quarterbacks when we can steal a little time. Riley knows the offense. He's got guts. The different things we're doing, he understands. His throwing has improved each week. I mean, it's more than just winding up and throwing the football. It's about timing. It's about understanding things, and he's done that. You know, I can't say enough about him. And then Braden a couple weeks ago at Purchase Line. Those are the kind of kids you want behind center when you get in those emergency situations.
You're the only team I know in Class A that has 5 deep on your depth chart. You were even recruiting me last week, if I remember right. But yeah, I'd be 16th. The Highlanders have been hit hard with injuries too at the quarterback position. Their star Ty Stockley, and he's even better on defense, I think. But he rushed for 239 yards, scored 4 touchdowns. He's missed the last 3 games, supposedly close to 100%, returning tonight. What can you do differently this time around to change that outcome? Because you'll have to do it if you want to win.
Well, first off, tackle him to the ground. You know, there were plenty of times we had him bottled up. We had guys there. We didn't finish it, whether it be the primary guy or secondary guys coming in. A lot of that credit goes to him. I think he's one of the toughest kids we faced in recent years. We can't let him get started. His will on a couple of those runs, I played a couple of them back repeatedly in our film session Monday. His will to extend plays was tremendous. Having said that, he's not on our team. I don't want him. I don't want his will to keep making plays and extend plays. I want our will to tackle him and Trebus and Storm and whoever else carries the ball. So it's going to come down to just, you know, it's going to come down to having a little more desire and a little more physicality.
They don't pass a lot. As a matter of fact, even with Stockley, they only threw 2 passes against you in that first meeting. Are you able to maybe take some chances the second time around with your D-backs and cheat a little bit?
We have some things, and they were in place the first time where, you know, we have some things, automatics that we see, and we can rotate some people and bring a little pressure. But I know that if the other kid plays too, I think it's Wieland, he's got a nice arm. And Stockley does. I think they didn't have to throw there. I'm hoping that we can force them into more of those situations, which means maybe they're getting out of something that they're real comfortable with.
Finally, Coach, they have a big edge in the kicking game with their kicker, Junzo Deckard. He averages 58 yards per kickoff, so he's putting it down toward the goal line almost every time and always inside the 5, it seems. And that's a big weapon to have for them. What do you instruct your kids to do in those types of situations?
We're probably going to be around a 10. If they know clearly it's going to be over their head, turn on turf especially. If it's going to bounce the normal way, like an end-over-end kick, you know, it's probably going to go into the end zone. Let that happen. Make sure it happens, and you start at the 20. Anywhere near their bodies where they're lined up, I feel confident in our guys catching it, getting a few blocks, getting a seam, and getting past the 20, and hopefully some bonus yardage from there.
Coach, it's a beautiful night for football. It would be more beautiful if the Wildcats can ride back down over the mountain with a victory.
That would be something I'd really look forward to, and I hope it happens.
All right, we wish you the best of luck. That's head coach Greg Page, brought to you by Walbeck Insurance in Homer City. Coming back with more, we'll have the Luther Ford Keys to the Game on our ITT pregame show from Cambria Heights continues right after this on the Renda Media Football Network.
Dan in a van hasn't returned your call? Chuck in a truck can't get there for 2 months? Stop dealing with fly-by-nighters and call a company that's fully capable for all your plumbing and heating needs. Joyce Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Incorporated. Joyce Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Incorporated is on call 24/7, 365 days a year. Visit us at joyceplumbing.com. That's joyceplumbing.com. Joyce Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Incorporated, the best place in town to take a leak. PA 042115.
Homer City American Legion Post 493, a longtime backer of Homer Center Athletics, is pleased to be a part of today's broadcast and wishes the best of luck to the Homer Center Wildcats this season. Homer City American Legion Post 493 has served Homer City and our veterans for more than half a century. They are a staple of the community and believe in giving back. So have fun today, teams. Represent your communities well. From your friends at the Homer City American Legion Post 493.
Looking for one of the coolest new products in the market, or maybe looking for that unique Christmas present? Psst, it will cure your pain at the pump.
SeaWorld Satellites is now offering the Go Express e-bike, made for the urban commuter and weekend adventure, combining city cruising and all-terrain riding. From pavement to hills, streets to sand, take your Go Express bike to your next meeting or exploration. This e-bike can run up to 18 miles in electric mode. To look at or take a test ride, come to SeaWorld Satellites on Wayne Avenue in Indiana.
This is the voice of the Crimson Hawks, Jack Benedict, with some exciting news. I'd like to invite you to join me and IUP football coach Paul Tortorella every Monday night at CH Fields in the Hilton Garden Inn for Hawk Talk with the coach. Hawk Talk will be on the air from 6 to 7 p.m. every Monday on U92.5 and video streamed as well. But the real key will be for IUP fans to stop by to meet the coach, staff, and team members, maybe even grab a beverage or dinner. Join us every Monday from 6 to 7 p.m. at CH Fields in the Hilton Garden Inn, Wayne Avenue in Indiana for Hawk Talk.
Luther Ford, one trusted name, two great locations. Right now at Luther Ford, order your new Ford and lock in 2.9% APR financing for 60 months, no matter when your new vehicle comes in. That's right, order your new vehicle now and your interest rate is locked in even if rates go up. Just stop in today and drive away in your new vehicle from Luther Ford. Luther Ford, two great locations, Homer City and Evansburg. Click on lutherford.com.
Welcome back to our S&T Bank broadcast booth on the ITT pregame show. The 5-5 Wildcats and the Cambria Heights Highlanders. We realize at this time of year sometimes some new fans come on board and are interested in what we're doing here. And if you're listening and you'd like to watch, you can do so by logging on to Renda Digital TV. You can just simply visit WCCSradio.com and look for the link to Renda Digital TV in our video stream. Also on the YouTube channel, you can search Renda Digital TV. And Ward, what a great night we have. Homer Center, their season unfolded with back-to-back victories before the injuries hit. And actually the injuries started hitting in preseason. They defeated United Valley 28-6, River Valley 34-20. Went out to Penns Manor, lost actually, Cole McAnally, their starter, returned that night, but had just been cleared, lost 26-6. West Shamokin, really a heartbreaker. Final play of the game, 56-50. Thought we were going to overtime. Did not. I thought that was really a pivotal part of the season for Homer Center.
It most definitely was, Mark. You have a game like that. First of all, giving up that many points, very atypical of Homer Center defense. And I think I kind of knocked their confidence down for a while.
And then we can't figure things out because the very next week, Northern Cambria's undefeated 4-0. Homer Center knocks them off 13-7 and played pretty good defense. Granted, Northern Cambria helped them with about 82 penalties.
And what you said is saying a lot. That's the type of inconsistency this team has shown all season long. They need to carry that momentum, the positive part of it, over, and they haven't been able to do that.
At that point, they were 3-2, second half of the season, hoping maybe they get healthy. That didn't happen. They lost in the final minute to Portage, 28-24. Cambria Heights, we talked about that earlier in the ITT pregame show, jumped out 12-0. Cambria Heights scores 31 unanswered. Angelo Alexander knocked out of the game. They win one in the final minute over Marion Center, 13-10. Lost at Purchase Line. That was kind of a stunner, 14-12. And then Myersdale, things went their way in that crossover game, 45-3. They're 3-2 at home, 2-3 on the road. Cambria Heights, 7-3. They lost the first game at Northern Cambria, 35-28. That was a springboard for the Colts and proved that they weren't a fluke. And then Heights went on a 5-game, 6-game winning streak with wins over Portage, at River Valley, at Marion Center, Purchase Line, and at United Valley. They came back home and defeated Homer Center 31-12. Went to Penns Manor, lost in a bit of a shootout, 42-33. Defeated West Shamokin 47-21. Lost at Northern Bedford 37-14. And they were without their starting quarterback for 2.5 games. He's back tonight. They're 4-0 undefeated here at home, 3-3 on the road for the Highlanders. So Homer Center will try to hand them their first loss. Homer Center will try to do something they have never done. Win a road playoff game. They're 0-9 all time. They lost their first home playoff game. Talk about the importance of high seeds, right? Last year to Bishop Guilfoyle in the District 6 semifinals. Prior to that loss, Wildcats had been 12-0. Ward, what about your keys to the game?
Well, Homer Center's key, I think, is on the defense first. They have got to find ways to stop Ty Stockley and Tribus. And if they can do that, and they did stop Tribus the first game, but they need to be able to bottle up Stockley. Don't let him dominate the game. That's going to be a big lesson that they've got to learn here tonight. On the offensive side, again, we've been preaching this all year long. They got to create some gaps for the running backs, specifically Landon Hill. He needs to get us some gaps, get into that secondary. He had a pretty good first quarter that first game they played here, but it just all went to heck. I don't know what occurred, but they just lost all of that. And finally, I really believe they got to get 2-3 turnovers tonight in their favor, not turn the ball over, recover the turnovers to have any success.
Last week, they were a +4 in the turnover department. They're still a -1 for the season, which tells you a lot as to why they've struggled this year. Coming back with the starting lineups when our ITT pregame show continues from Cambria Heights on a beautiful night for the District 6 quarterfinals. Homer Center and Cambria Heights right here on the Renda Media Football Network.
The Indiana County Technology Center is now accepting enrollment in our adult education programs. The ICTC's adult education programs offer in-demand post-secondary programs tailored to empower student success. From cosmetology to welding and practical nursing, the ICTC has a program for everyone. Indiana County Technology Center, empowering tomorrow's workforce.
So what sets S&T apart from other financial institutions is that they are visionary. Now, we understand that it is partially about the numbers, but they know it's not just about the numbers. It's about the management team, it's about the strategic and business plan, it's about how the team is going to execute on that. In short, S&T gets it. Quite honestly, we couldn't have done it without S&T.
This is your state representative, Jim Struzzi, and I'm asking for your vote this November. The last couple of years have been something we could never have imagined, and now we are getting back to normal, and nothing is more normal than Friday night football. I want to wish all our area athletes, band members, cheerleaders, and all who participate the best of luck for a safe, successful, and fun-filled season. These games wouldn't happen without the support of the community, and I will continue to work hard for you and your families in Indiana County. Me and my staff wish you good luck, and I'll be rooting for each and every one of you, and I hope that you'll be rooting for me this November.
At IRMC, we have all of the necessary pieces in place to perform complex operations, including highly skilled and specially trained surgeons, their support team of experts, and advanced technology like the Da Vinci robotic surgical system. As a result, patients spend less time in the hospital, recover faster, and get treated close to home. So there's no reason to puzzle over where you should get your surgical care. The answer is right here at IRMC.
House, our statistician. Praise the Lord, Ward. Jerry's here. What about the starting lineups brought to you by one of Jerry's sponsors, Maine's Chiropractic, adjusting today for a better tomorrow. Maine's Chiropractic, Main Street, Homer City. Just give us the Cambria Heights offense.
All right, for the Highlanders, the left end will be Logan Baker, senior, 6'3", 180. Left tackle, Gavin McConnell, a senior, 6'6", 265. Left guard, Brad Green, another senior, 5'9", 255. Center, Zane Miller, senior, 5'10", 265. The right guard will be Braylon Ridbaum. He's a sophomore, 5'10", 170. The right tackle is Xavier Farrell, junior, 5'9", 225. Joe Sneddon's the tight end, a senior, 6'2", 210. Pretty good size across that line. In the backfield, Ty Stockley's the quarterback, seniors, 5'11", 165. Marshall Eckenrod, one of the wingbacks at 5'10", 165. He's a sophomore. And then, of course, Tanner Tribus is back there, senior, 5'11", 170.
And the Homer Center Wildcats starting offensive unit will do it this way. The players will introduce themselves right here on the Renda Media.
Riley Clevenger, senior, quarterback, 5'10", 180 pounds, roll cat. My name is Roy Jones. I'm 5'11", 144 pounds, sophomore. I'm a wide receiver. My favorite college team is Penn State. My favorite NFL team is Pittsburgh Steelers. My favorite player is Tony Pollard.
I'm a wide receiver, Casey Harper. I'm a senior. I'm 5'8", 162 pounds. My favorite college team is UCF. My favorite pro team is the Eagles, and my favorite NFL player is Jalen Ramsey.
Hello, I'm Mike Pajasic. I'm a wide receiver. I'm a senior. I'm 5'9", 180 pounds. My favorite college team is Notre Dame. My favorite NFL team is the Steelers.
I'm Braden Dunn, running back and receiver. I'm a sophomore, 5'9", 161. My favorite college team is Penn State. My favorite pro team is the New York Giants, and my favorite NFL player is Saquon Barkley.
Hi, I'm Caleb Palmer. I'm a junior tight end. I'm 6 foot, 200 pounds. My favorite college team is Penn State. My favorite pro team is the Steelers, and my favorite player is DJ Watt.
All right, my name is Javon Jones. I'm a junior. I'm 5'10", 180. I play tight end, and my favorite pro team is the New York Giants on Fodell.
I'm Landon Hill. I play running back. I'm a junior, 6'1", 220 pounds. My favorite college team is Notre Dame, and my favorite NFL player is Ray Lewis.
Hi, my name is Isaiah Benz. I'm a senior left tackle, 6'5", 282. My favorite college team is Penn State. My favorite NFL team is the Ravens. My favorite player is Rodney Harrison.
I'm Romy Dokos. I play left guard. I'm a senior. I'm 5'10", weigh 210 pounds. Wildcat country, let's ride.
I'm center Joe Succiarelli, 6 foot, 203 pounds. My favorite college team is Penn State. My favorite NFL team is the 49ers. My favorite NFL player is Nick Bosa.
I'm right guard Van Tagliati. I'm a senior, 5'11", 240. My favorite team is the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Sure. I'm Mason Bell. I'm a senior. I'm 6'3", 225. Play right tackle. My favorite pro team is the Steelers. My favorite player is Zach Wilson.
And we are set for the start of tonight's game. That's the ITT pregame show. Coming back with the start of the game. Homer Center kicking off to Cambria Heights after this on the Renda Media Football Network.
Milk every moment.
Mason Bell has it teed up. Homer Center won the toss and deferred. Will kick off to the team wearing blue and red if you're watching, and it's a squib type kick, far sideline, and rolls inside the 15 where it's bobbled and picked up. And I think that's Nealon's going to get up to about the 15-yard line. On the kick coverage team for the Homer Center Wildcats, Mason Bell, the kicker, way downfield.
He's made a number of those this year. Gets a pretty good start because he does kick off and he just sprints down the field, makes the play big time. Good job that time on the kick coverage for Homer Center.
Well, let's see who that quarterback is. It does appear like it's Stockley that will get the start. Weiland got a lot of snaps, the sophomore who spelled him in the absence of Stockley for 2.5 games. And he will line up under his center, Zane Miller. Tight formation, and he gives on a handoff off the right side. Tribus is met by the safety, Jackson Arone, but he has good running room out over the 20 to the 25, maybe the 26-yard line. Line of scrimmage was the 17.
Little Connor move, a big hole opens up for Tribus. Homer cannot allow that.
Official timeout. And Denny, if you could, my orange folder behind you, I need. Our spotter in the booth is Dennis Mester. An official timeout. Not sure what this conversation is about.
Thought it was a measurement, but it appears to be a little more than that.
Well short of the first down by about 2 yards. At IRMC at Chestnut Ridge and Blairsville's Urgent Care, they'll fast-track you and get you quick access to their team of medical experts. Highly trained and ready to treat all minor injuries and illnesses, IRMC at Chestnut Ridge offers the full spectrum of urgent care 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Enough with the waiting game. You can count on IRMC at Chestnut Ridge, Old Route 22 in Blairsville, where you can get in, get out, and get better. A part of the IRMC family, better health, better life. Well, they did move the chains, and now what do we have? Coach coming out, there's a issue of some kind, trying to justly sharp our camera operator tonight. Oh, I see, there's maybe blood or something on the turf ward that they're wiping up.
Your guess is good as mine on that. That might be the case, Mark.
Maybe somebody walked their dog earlier today.
But they got a first down, however. Again, Homer's defense has got to close those gaps. They only had one linebacker in Bell in that area.
This Cambria Heights offense averages 33.9 points a game, 269 yards rushing, 76 passing, 345 yards per game, which is third in the conference. They're also a +8 in the turnover department. Direct snap and Tribus around the left end. Tribus into the secondary, and Tribus with big running room again. He has 8 yards up to about the 35-yard line. That edge rush is something that Homer Center's had difficulty with all season long. One of the few guys that has defended it well made that tackle, Mason Bell. He leads Homer Center with 104 tackles. That's back-to-back for Tribus, 10 yards on each carry. And just like that, they're out of the hole to the Homer Center 37.
Homer's line's got to start penetrating, getting in the backfield and slowing them down a little bit. 20 yards and 2 carries. That's going to hurt you.
Very tight formation behind Stockley, and they give it up the middle, and with the football running again for first down yardage is Lucas Storm into Homer Center territory to the 45-yard line. So they are gashing Homer Center early. Casey Harper made the tackle for Homer Center's defense, which has not been good. Although when I give you this number, Ward, you might be surprised when we get a chance. Out of the huddle, Storm, out of the lineup to the sideline is Storm. And they have a 1st and 10 at the Homer Center 44-yard line. Stockley going to line up in the shotgun with wings to the right and left. To the right, it is Marshall Eckenrode. Motion man toward the Cambria Heights bench. but they keep it, and going down for a loss is busting through was a player that's coming on for Homer Center, Will Jones, getting the start defensively. He had a 95-yard interception return for a touchdown last week in that big 45-3 victory over Myersdale, and he tackles Stockley for a loss of 3 back to the 47.
Yeah, no hesitation. Jones made a break on the handoff and on the fake and went right at Stockley and brought him down. And that's how this defense has to function. They've got to attack. They're sitting back and getting blocked.
Stockley goes under center. Split backs behind him. And they give on to the deep back. And running room, they're getting that loss back and then some. It is Tribus. Tribus takes it to the Homer Center 40-yard line. Tackled on the play by safety Jackson Arone. Sets up 3rd down and 6 as they go quickly. We have the benefit of the replay monitor in the booth. And that was a little counter action for Tribus. They really did a nice job on him in the first meeting.
Yeah, there's no huddle right now.
And Stockley, they hand it up the middle, and Homer Center defenses it pretty nicely. Going to be short of the lead chain. Right now, those numbers are easier to read when I watch the screen in the booth. That give was to Lucas Storm. Tackle made by Jackson Arone again. It's going to be 4th down and 2 at the Wildcat 36-yard line. 8:40 moving clock here in the first quarter.
Yeah, right now the offensive line is just moving the Wildcats' defensive line out, and that's giving these backs gaps, and they are tough runners. You get them in that secondary, it's bad news.
4th down and a deuce. And Stockley going to run the ball to around the left end, has a 1st down. And that was something that Homer Center had trouble with in the first meeting when he rushed for 239 yards. He does pick up the necessary yardage to the Wildcat 33-yard line.
Does a nice job with the play fakes too, Mark, which is making it tough on the D, but you just got to start tackling whoever comes through. Clog the holes.
1st and 10. That was Landon Hill that made that tackle. Left defensive end is Caleb Palmer. Dokos, Taglietti, and Bentz down linemen. Jet motion, and they hand it to that running back, and running through 2 or 3 tackles for big yardage inside the 25 down to the 23-yard line goes Tanner Tribus. Going to be close to another 1st down.
Big problem the Wildcats have had all year is not tackling well. Look at it. If you look at the replay, they're grabbing. They're not tackling. And
Jackson Arone guilty party that time.
Tribus just too good a runner to try to bring down like that. You got to hit him low and wrap. And so far I haven't seen it.
Ball at the Wildcat 24-yard line. A drive that started at the 17-yard line. Stockley, there's that quarterback Connor. He keeps it. That play killed Homer Center in the first meeting, and a flag flies late. Not sure, it could be a hold or a face mask. We will see. While they unsort the penalty, we'll take a quick timeout with 7:06 remaining in the first quarter on an IRMC Playoff Sports Night. We're scoreless. Cambria Heights on the drive on the Renda Media Football Network.
At Diamond Medical Supply, we're always on your team. No matter your sport, you can count on our support. With braces, bandages, biofreeze, and so much more, all to keep you in the game. We're a winning care solution, no matter what you play. Diamond Medical Supply, keeping you healthy this season because we care about care.
Heights, it's 2nd down and long, and they give, and smothering the ball carrier Tribus is Homer Center's Romy Dokos, and it'll set up 3rd down and about 7 to go. So that penalty sets Cambria Heights back a little bit.
Yeah, Isaiah Bent's a nice job of getting some penetration, which forced the runner to turn into Dokos, and he made sure brought him down. That's much better.
10th play of the drive. Quick stats brought to you by First Commonwealth Bank. Time to be first. The old T formation almost for Cambria Heights, and they give on an inside. Connor to Tribus, hops through a hole, has some yardage inside the 25, and there's another flag flying, and we may have another hold on. Is there a flag? Yep, there is, our spotter. I thought I saw yellow as Casey Harper gets up slowly, and we'll see what this penalty is about with 6:08 to play in this first quarter, holding on Cambria Heights. Wipes out first down.
Something on that left side. They're grabbing on these counters. And that may be the fact that Homer's defense starting to try to get some penetration. So that right away the offensive lineman is grabbing, trying to get him out of that hole.
So they back it up from the spot of the infraction, which was the 22-yard line, to the Homer Center 32. Homer Center's defense, 20.1 points per game, 149 rushing, 121 passing. That number's worst in the league. Overall now 270. A bunch of teams clustered in that area, and then worse. Homer Center's defense, Ward, if I told you they're third best in the conference, is it deceiving?
It's very much so.
Third down and 10, and I agree. And the toss and running room for the ball carrier down to the 25-yard line, a couple of yards shy of the first down. And it was Tanner Tribus on the carry, so it's going to be fourth down. They give him a pretty good spot at the 24-yard line. Fourth down and about a yard to go. On the tackle, it was Braden Dunn.
You know, it's surprising because we're so used to Homer's defense being tough. And they're getting shoved around more than I've seen in a long time this year.
Fourth and short. Stockley going to keep it himself. Fights for a first down, and he has it as he gets to the 22-yard line.
Boy, methodical drive there, a burning clock while they're moving the ball. Homer's D is tightened up a little with the aid of the penalties. They still need to make a couple of big plays in a row, though. They haven't done that.
First down and 10. This drive, they've had the ball the entire first quarter. We are down to 5 minutes remaining, scoreless, but Cambria Heights, the way they're moving, they're heading toward the end zone in the first score of the game. Stockley will go out of the shotgun with Tribus a sidecar to the right. And he hands it to Tribus, and Tribus trying to bounce it outside. Homer Center defenses it better that time, limits him to a 1-yard gain to the 21-yard line. I want to thank the Cambria Heights School District and their IT team and athletic department for their hospitality hosting us. Here we have some cables, don't we, Ward? Romy Dokos on the tackle.
Yeah, we got a lot of them. Nice job by the D. This is what I'm saying. Right here is the play they want to make. They want to make it the third and long.
Second down and 9 for Cambria Heights. Twin receivers to the right. Wingman to the right is Eckenrode. They reposition Tribus, and he gets the direct snap. At least I think that's him, and he cuts it outside at the 15, the 10, to the right pylon, and a touchdown for Tanner Tribus. They shifted him into the backfield, and he took the direct snap. Homer Center not even close, and it's 6-0 Cambria Heights as they drive 83 yards, and with 3:59 left in the first quarter, they draw first blood very impressively at 6-0.
Yeah, Tribus just made one move and got to the edge. Nobody in the Wildcat secondary quick enough to catch him.
Their kicker,
that's too easy.
Junzo Deckard, 26 of 31 in the extra point department, had one block last week. Long of 31 on a field goal. He's kicked 3 field goals. He has a big leg out of the hold of Ty Stockley, and the snap from Stephen Nealon is perfect, put down by Stockley, and the kick is good. Teams come upfield, 7-0 Cambria Heights, 3:59 remaining in the first quarter on an IRMC playoff sports night on the Renda Media Football Network.
At Diamond Medical Supply, we're always on your team. No matter your sport, you can count on our support. With braces, bandages, biofreeze, and so much more, all to keep you in the game. We're a winning care solution, no matter what you play. Diamond Medical Supply, keeping you healthy this season because we care about care.
The Indiana County Technology Center is now accepting enrollment in our adult education programs. The ICTC's adult education programs offer in-demand post-secondary programs tailored to empower student success. From cosmetology to welding and practical nursing, the ICTC has a program for everyone. Indiana County Technology Center, empowering tomorrow's workforce.
All Our Luther Ford Drive summary. How about this, Ward? 14 plays, 83 yards, took 7 minutes, 55 seconds. They were 2 for 2 on fourth downs. Tribus, 9 carries, 74 yards, Jerry, is that right? Wow. He didn't have that many in the first game.
He didn't break 50 in the first game. Of course, Stockley did. But, this is a critical series for Homer Center. If they go 3 and out, this whole game is really going to swing in the Heights' favor.
Deckard averages 58.6 set yards per kickoff. There's offside. It is a penalty. If you're watching it, you saw they just weren't in sync approaching the football, so they'll back it up to the 35-yard line and have to kick it again, or at least they didn't kick it the first time.
It's a little strange. They were waiting for him to kick it, and the kicker kind of hesitated, and that caused 3 or 4 of them to cross the line.
Well, they're going to maybe say, no, they're going to back it up. Deckard, Junzo Deckard, averages 58.6 yards per kick. So now the officials are going to confer. This is a mess. While they're doing that, we'll step out for 30 seconds. Be right back. 7-0 Heights on the Renda Media Football Network.
Find your smile again with Evolutions 2 in downtown Indiana, offering hair alternatives and solutions for any lifestyle and need. Build your confidence with a personalized one-on-one consultation with experienced stylist Lisa Hunter, and take the steps to regain your life with one of Evolution 2's many hair solutions available. There is a fit for everyone, from adults to children. So call or find Evolutions 2 on Facebook. Evolutions 2 in downtown Indiana. Find your smile again.
Center's return men, Dunn and Krajosik, stand at their own 8-yard line, and it's a shorter end-over-end kick, and somebody's got to come up and field it, and finally Dunn does at the 17 to the 20 to the 25, 30, up to the 35-yard line, goes down at the 36, and a good return for Braden Dunn. So Wildcats trailing 7-0. Luke Mulraney on that tackle. They get their first possession at the 3:55 mark of the first quarter. They'll start at the 37 very quickly. The Wildcats, we do have a media timeout on the field with 3:55 left in the first quarter on an RMC Playoff Sports Night on WCCS, Renda Digital TV, presented by the Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club. 7-0 Highlanders on the Renda Media Football Network.
Hello, this is John Lefthal, owner and director of the John A. Lefthal Funeral Home, wishing the Homer Center Wildcats much success in the upcoming playoffs. It's always an awesome feeling to achieve success, be it in business or in sports. You as players have made our community proud. To be a winner, it takes much dedication, time, and preparation. Give it 100%, and years from now, you'll look back with fond memories of what you have accomplished. Go get 'em, Wildcats. The John A. Lefthal Funeral Home is behind you.
Building or remodeling? Save yourself some steps and march to PenningtonSpecialty.com. Randy George at Pennington Specialty takes pride in every job, and you'll see that when you march into PenningtonSpecialty.com. Contact Randy George at Pennington Specialty for a free quote. If you're talking construction of any kind, you should be talking to Randy George at Pennington Specialty. One visit to PenningtonSpecialty.com and you'll see why people have been marching to Pennington Specialty for years. Randy George is also a grad of Homer Center and is Wildcat proud and wishes the team the best of luck on their march to a district championship.
Homer Center starting at their own 37 out-of-town scoreboard. Penns Manor driving but scoreless late in the first quarter with a little over a minute remaining. We have that game that's being streamed by Renda Digital TV on our iPad here. So we'll keep an eye on that as we keep an eye and call this one for you. An H-back to the right is Mason Bell. From the gun, it's Riley Clevenger. Hands it off to Landon Hill, and Landon backs his way and powers his way over the 40 to the 42-yard line. On the tackle, Zane Miller, the nose guard in the Cambria Heights defense. Wildcats offense averaging 23.8 points per game, 205 yards rushing, 40 yards passing, 245 total. Not good. It's 7th in the Heritage Conference. -1 in the turnover department. We'll give you Cambria Heights defensive numbers after this play. Second down and about 5 to go. Landon again trying to bounce it outside. as a flag flies, and this one will probably be a hold on Homer Center. It is holding on the Wildcats, so that will back them up behind the chains, and they'll have second and long. Cambria Heights, the 7-3 Highlanders defense, 18.8 points per game they permit, 195 yards rushing, 82 yards passing, 277. It's dropped, they have dropped to 5th in the conference. That, I think, due in part to the absence the last 2.5 games of Ty Stockley. And are they playing him defensively tonight, Ward, is the question.
He's out there. The other thing is, the thing you got to see recognize is if you watch the lineup, there's 11 Highlanders within 5 yards of scrimmage. So they are committed to stopping Homer's run game. With that many guys up, that means that whole backside
There's no
is
safety
open.
right now. The give up the middle, and it's Hill for 3 yards to the 35. There was no safe. Well, technically there was a safety, but you know what I mean.
There's nobody back there. If they fake and throw, now maybe they're getting baited, but I'll tell you,
Luke Mulroney made that.
You watch where
tackle.
they're lining up, and folks, if you're watching on the stream there, you can see that they are all up about 5 yards away from scrimmage.
Justly Sharp, if you could maybe back off you'll see, fans will see what we're talking about. 11 guys basically within 5 yards. A cornerback on the right side, Eckenrode, 6 yards off the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down and 11, and Riley looking to throw. And he throws a wobbler, and coming back to it is Harper, and it's deflected away at the last second by Eckenrode. If Harper comes back a little more aggressively at that wobbler from Riley Clevenger, he's going to have himself a catch, but instead he waited for it, and it goes incomplete. And Ward, what you didn't want to happen from Homer Center's perspective, a 3 and out.
Yeah, they had a nice gain on 1st down, and then a penalty. And it's just a bad throw by Riley, but still a pass that could have been completed. They're really going to have to.
All right, here we go. Michael Krajosik to punt, and he gets a good kick away and a fair catch called for at the 25-yard line. 2:09 remaining in the first quarter. 7-0 Highlanders. They'll have the ball when we return on the Renda Media Football Network.
Robindale Energy Services is a proud supporter of high school athletics and our hometown community. To do its part for the local rural areas, Robindale Energy has been cleaning up refuse coal piles that dot the western Pennsylvania landscape. These waste piles, remnants from past decades of mining in the region, are removed and used to create affordable energy for America. Robindale Energy has helped to clean up hundreds of miles of streams and channels. In the area where the land has been restored for a while, streams have become alive again and able to support plant and fish life. For employment opportunities, contact Robindale Energy at 814-446-6700 extension.
As we come back on WCCS Radio, I think you saw it on Renda Digital TV, a little pass out in the flat to Tribus, and Tribus takes it from the line of scrimmage, the 25, up to the 44-yard line. So a 19-yard gain. Pushed out of bounds by Michael Krajosik.
Tribus is going to really stretch his Homer defense. He's got great speed, and as you saw there, once he gets in the open field, he's tough.
Ball on the right hash, wide side of the field toward the Wildcat bench. Tight formation, and Stockley hands it off, and Homer Center limits the ball carrier. I think it's Lucas Storm to a gain of just a couple. It was Storm. Storm, 97 rushes, 400 yards. The average is 4 per carry. Tackle made by Romy Dokos. They give him 3 to the 47, so we'll call it 2nd and 7. Tanner Tribus, their leading ball carrier, and he's had a great first quarter. He entered the game with 1,101 yards rushing on 106 attempts, a 10.4 average. That will win you a lot of games, and 15 touchdowns. From the shotgun, they fake it to Tribus, and Stockley, a gaping hole off the right side. Runs through one tackle, but Landon Hill finishes him off, but not before he gets into Homer Center territory and a first down. You could have driven a hole through the right side. The The hole opened up by center Zane Miller, Braylon Ridbaum, the guard, and Alex Xavier Farrell, the right tackle. Ward, I could have ran for yards.
Well, they did a nice job. If you watch the replay on Landon, they sealed him off. He has got to shed that blocker and close that hole there. They can run that play all night.
1st and 10 at the Wildcat 45-yard line. Penns Manor.
They scored, I don't know.
Was it a field goal, or did I see 3 on the board? 7-0 Comets. Looking to pass, pump fake, stop and go pattern for Tribus, working on Harper, and he hauls it in. Was he in bounds? He was. Outstanding catch. Truthfully, the coverage not that bad by Harper, but Tribus made the better play to the 12-yard line. That'll be a gain of 33 yards.
Yeah, that was not a great pass, but it was effective enough to carry to Tribus. Once Tribus gets behind you, just throw it. He'll catch it, and that's what he did. They had plenty of time. That's the other thing. When he does that fake, you can't give him that much time.
Tribus goes under center. Storm and Tribus in the backfield, and they give it up the middle. And about 3 yards to the 9, maybe 4 to the 8. On the carry, that was Lucas Storm. On the tackle, Vinny Taglietti. They put the football down at the 11, so just a 1-yard gain. And the first quarter is going to come to an end. Thank you, Jim Struzzi, friends of Jim Struzzi, for presenting the first quarter. After one, it's been all Cambria Heights. 7-0 Highlanders over the Wildcats on WCCS, presented by IRMC, and on Renda Digital TV, presented by the Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club. 7-0 Cambria Heights on the Renda Media Football Network.
Hi, Wildcat fans. This is Coach Greg Page. I would like to thank Wildcat Nation for your support, and I especially want to thank the Homer City Area Athletic Booster Club for making tonight's video presentation possible. The Bears Midget program has provided a foundation for Wildcat football for decades. Through the growth of the boosters, they now impact many of our sports here at Homer Center. From our team, we say thank you, Homer City Area Athletic Booster Club, for making a big difference in our community since 1958.
At IRMC, we have all of the necessary pieces in place to perform complex operations, including highly skilled and specially trained surgeons, their support team of experts, and advanced technology like the Da Vinci robotic surgical system. As a result, patients spend less time in the hospital, recover faster, and get treated close to home. So there's no reason to puzzle over where you should get your surgical care. The answer is right here at IRMC.
Hey, we got the band back together tonight. Jerry Rossey's in the booth. First Commonwealth providing the limo all the way from Salzburg to Patton, Pennsylvania. Jerry, you're a lucky man. He's got his first Commonwealth garb on and his first Commonwealth pen in his hand, tracking the stats. Our spotter is Dennis Mester, studio engineer on WCCS Michael Burdick, video producer John Smathers. Out on the platform operating the camera tonight, our outstanding Homer Center senior, Justly Sharp. Thank you, Justly, for providing all of the great images. With Ward Hilliard, I'm Mark Burdick in our S&T Bank broadcast booth. We open the second quarter, Heights driving, leading 7-0. They have a second down and 11, and they give up the middle, and Homer Center's defense shuts the door on Lucas Storm. And it was, I think, Isaiah Bentz, that made that tackle, and Vinny Taglietti for the Homer Center Wildcats.
Strange call, Mark. They've been running some nice counters off of their play fakes, and that was just a straight dive, and Homer was able to stop it. I was a little surprised they ran that.
So it'll be third down and 8, football at about the 11-yard line. They reshift Tribus again, and they give it to him, trying to bust it outside. Comes to the 10, cuts it up at the 5, into the end zone. He dives for a Cambria Heights touchdown. That's outstanding running by Tanner Tribus. Will Jones maybe had a shot at him, but couldn't track him down, and it's 13-0 Cambria Heights. Tribus' second touchdown of the night with 11:14 left in the first half.
That was, again, way too easy. Well blocked. You got to give credit to the Heights. They blocked it well, but Homer defense needs to come up, bring a couple more people up in the box, try to stop that kind of stuff. Their secondary is not making any plays.
No, and they don't. Well, of course, they have hit a couple passes, so I guess I'll take that back. They only attempted 2 the first meeting. Junzo Deckard's extra point is kicked down to the Old Farm Inn restaurant, and it's good. 11:14 remaining in the first half on an IRMC Playoff Sports Night on WCCS, Renda Digital TV, presented by the Grayston Coral Sportsmen. The Highlanders off and running as the Cannons go off here at the stadium, 14-0 on the Renda Media Football Network.
The Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club is making a splash, continuing to grow its membership. The Sportsman's Club features a fishing pond that is well stocked. Inside the club, members can enjoy a game of pool, or how about shuffleboard? What's your favorite team, including the Wildcats and more? The Grayston Coral Sportsman's also has a shooting range and takes pride hosting kid-friendly events. And be sure to check out the nearby Twin Cities Event Hall for your next special occasion. Proud to sponsor the Wildcats, the Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club, located off Route 119 on Neal Road in Grayston.
Business happens here, and here, and here. At First Commonwealth, we believe that to be the best bank for the businesses that create strong communities, we need to understand the way they work, see their companies firsthand, meet them face to face, and build a relationship so we can help them build their business.
Back with you at Cambria Heights. Luther Ford drive summary, 7 plays, 75 yards, took 2 minutes, 53 seconds. 4 first downs along the way for the Highlanders. Junzo Deckard has it teed up, and the kick high, and it's going to be done again at the 10-yard line, left sideline to the 20. Zigs and zags his way to the 25 and goes down there. If you're a Homer Center fan, Ward, this start is less than ideal.
To say the least, Mark, it is now that if they're going to be in this football game, they need to establish something offensively. They need to move the ball. If nothing else, move the ball into Cambria Heights territory and demonstrate that they have an ability to score and at least move the football. Otherwise, the Heights is going to have it. They have really dominated this first half. Homer's defense needs some adjusting, though.
Jackson Klein on the kick coverage, making that tackle for Cambria Heights. The Wildcats come out with Riley Clevenger under center, the IRMC Renda Media Player of the Week, and a quarterback keeper in Riley, who has the heart of a lion, out over the 30 to the 31-yard line. He's a great young man, and he gets up a little slowly. That's not good. On the tackle, it was Brett Bills. Bills 5th on the team with 56 tackles. Their leading tacklers, Ty Stockley, 84 tackles, including a team-leading 15.5 tackles for a loss. Stockley, the heart and soul of that defense, and the fact that he missed 2.5 games and he's still their leading tackler by a long shot, pretty amazing.
Yeah, it is. It's the kind of athlete he is, though.
2nd down and 7. Give on a little delay to Landon Hill. Landon, who needed 64 yards entering in the game for 2,000 in his career. A short gain will set up 3rd down and 4 at the 33-yard line. Ty Stockley, just talked about him, the inside linebacker, made that tackle. Mulroney's pretty good beside him, too. He's 3rd on the team in tackles for the Highlanders with 62.
They got Tribus on Krajosic, so they know he's their deep threat, and they're trying to eliminate that.
End of 1, Northern Cambria 12, Moshannon Valley 7. Motion man is Dunn. They hand it to him, and Dunn is going to be hit and dropped after a 1-yard gain. Coming up and making that play, I believe that was it Stockley again that made that tackle?
I didn't see it on a replay.
Stockley, Dennis says, yep. So the Wildcats go 3 and out again.
unable to block the edge at all. And that play is destined to fail. Homer's has been unable to come up.
Michael
on the
Krajosik, the punter, 33 punts, 32.7 average, and a high, short floating kick. And look out, Cambria Heights, they allow it to roll, and it rolls dead at the 38-yard line. We'll take a quick break. 9:10 remaining in the first. 14-0 Cambria Heights on the Renda Media Football Network.
This is your state representative, Jim Struzzi, and I'm asking for your vote this November. The last couple of years have been something we could never have imagined, and now we're getting back to normal, and nothing is more normal than Friday night football. I want to wish all our area athletes, band members, cheerleaders, and all who participate the best of luck for a safe, successful, and fun-filled season. These games wouldn't happen without the support of the community, and I will continue to work hard for you and your families in Indiana County. Me and my staff wish you good luck, and I'll be rooting for each and every one of you, and I hope that you'll be rooting for me this November.
Game that scored on their first two, and right now they have to take a timeout. Some confusion out of the huddle. 9:10 remaining in the first half. Second quarter action continues with the score Cambria Heights 14 and the Homer Center Wildcats nothing on the Renda Media Football Network.
Luther Ford, one trusted name, two great locations. Right now at Luther Ford, order your new Ford and lock in 2.9% APR financing for 60 months, no matter when your new vehicle comes in. That's right, order your new vehicle now, and your interest rate is locked in even if rates go up. Just stop in today and drive away in your new vehicle from Luther Ford. Luther Ford, two great locations, Homer City and Evansburg. Click on lutherford.com.
Are you thinking about getting vaccinated? Talk to your doctor or pharmacist about the COVID-19 vaccine. The Health Initiative for Rural Pennsylvania would also like to remind you that COVID-19 vaccines are available for children as young as 6 months. Talk to your doctor, your child's pediatrician, or your pharmacist if you have questions. You can also learn more by visiting vaccines.gov. That's vaccines.gov. Message made possible by the Health Initiative for Rural Pennsylvania.
Come back throwing and dropping the football. Stockley across the way, intended for the tight end Joe Snedden, and he was open. As Homer Center had, as we look at the replay, Ward, pretty good pressure up the middle. And Bentz actually looked like he was held, no call, but actually there is a call. Yep, and they did catch. I just saw it on the replay monitor. John, if you give it that, can you give it to us one more time? You're going to see Bentz coming up from his position, and here we go, right here. Yep, no, we're not going to get it. So they back it up from the spot of the foul, which was the 35 line of scrimmage, now the 25. Here it is here. And Cupcake, they had him around the icing. First down and long, and rolling to his left, and coming with the football, open field 30, 35, 40, and Harper pushes Tribus out of bounds. And the Wildcats defense continues to get gouged here, and they pick up that penalty yardage and then some. That'll be a gain of 17 yards. Tribus over 100 yards rushing now.
Just way too easy, Mark. I mean, a guy that fast, your ends have to play big time. They have to turn in, and you got to have some pursuit. I'm not seeing any of that right now.
On the right side, it's Landon Hill. Braden Dunn, or Caleb Palmer opposite him. And Stockley hands it off. This time, good Homer Center defense pushes the ball carrier back. That was Storm once again. Or no, Tribus on that carry. Isaiah Bentz on the tackle, so it'll be third down, and the Wildcats with another chance to get off the field. With 8.5 minutes remaining here in the first half, they already trail 14-0. Stockley has not thrown much. 18 of 40, 4 interceptions, 9 touchdown passes, so he's made them count. 443 yards passing, having a big night here in the first half. although he had one dropped on him. Tribus redeploys to the backfield, and he takes the direct snap again. And he's going to be hit by Bentz, slips that tackle, but then is tackled maybe for a 1-yard loss. It looks like they're going to give him the line of scrimmage. So Cambria Heights is going to be faced with 4th down. Looks like they might go for it.
Yeah, they probably will. They're feeling pretty good about themselves offensively. Nice job by Bentz. They're going to need to do that again. They're going to get some penetration from their D-line, and the linebackers might come up and shoot some gaps here.
So big opportunity for Homer Center. They could set up a short field. We'll see if they maybe try to pull Homer Center off sides or if they snap the football. They put a man in motion, and Stockley, hard count, at least for now, it looks like that's what they were trying to do, and they do take a timeout with 3 seconds on the play clock. 7:28 remaining in the second quarter. It's Cambria Heights 14, Homer Center Wildcats nothing on the Renda Media Football Network.
The Indiana County Technology Center is now accepting enrollment in our adult education programs. The ICTC's adult education programs offer in-demand post-secondary programs tailored to empower student success. From cosmetology to welding and practical nursing, the ICTC has a program for everyone. Indiana County Technology Center, empowering tomorrow's workforce.
Hello, this is John Lefdahl, owner and director of the John A. Lefdahl Funeral Home, wishing the Homer Center Wildcats much success in the upcoming playoffs. It's always an awesome feeling to achieve success, be it in business or in sports. You as players have made our community proud. To be a winner, it takes much dedication, time, and preparation. Give it 100%, and years from now, you'll look back with fond memories of what you have accomplished. Go get 'em, Wildcats. The John A. Lefdahl Funeral Home is behind you.
Seven times for a 29.6 average. Zachariah Scott has also punted 7 times. Snap a little bit high, but he pulls it down, and the kick is away, and it's over the head of Krajosik. And on turf, you just can't allow that to happen. And they're going to no, they don't touch it down. It goes into the end zone. So Homer Center with a big time break after a huge blunder on special teams. A punt of 56 yards and no return.
Well, you know how I feel about that. You're back there to catch the ball, and you fair catch a punt like that if it's a little deeper than what you are. Again, you got to be back so you can come up. Tribus got that off, and I thought the rush might have been able to get to him, but that didn't happen. But Homer lucked out. They got a break, opportunity. Now they got the ball on the 20. They really desperately need to make some noise offensively, Mark.
So the Wildcats with 7:18 left in the first half will start at the 20-yard line. Riley Clevenger will go out of the gun. Takes the direct snap, read option, smothered. Going to lose a yard or two. On the tackle, it was Zane Miller. 5'10", 264-pound senior nose guard, and they back him up to the 19-yard line. Penns Manor now leading Glendale 14-0. Comets will have home field advantage for the first 2 rounds should they win tonight, and they look like they're on their way. Sidecar to the left is Hill. Riley going to pass. He's going to throw downfield, and almost hauling it in at midfield was the diving Braden Dunn. Good effort by Braden. Pretty well thrown ball by Riley. Homer Center practiced at Indiana Wednesday on the turf. Greg Page very appreciative of the cooperation of Indiana School District. Assistant coach Don Mester said, "You can't believe how well Riley Clevenger threw the ball Wednesday night at practice." Jerry, I lost it. Jerry handed me his phone, but Portage up 7-6 in their playoff game. They are at Juniata Valley. So 3rd down and 11, not ideal for Homer Center in that regard, behind the chains. Twin receivers near side. Riley looking to pass, throws out in the flat to Dunn. Dunn to the 20, to the 25, breaks a tackle, has a first down over the 30-yard line. Well done by Braden Dunn, just flipped it out in the flat. Ty Stockley and Joe Snedden tackled him. Snedden gets up a little bit slowly. Here it is on our replay monitor in the booth. And a Highlander player with the shot was linebacker Brett Bills, but Braden Dunn did a good job of shedding that tackle, and they pick up 13 yards on that pass play. First down for Homer Center.
It shows those short passes can turn into big gains, and that's something that they need to consider offensively, just some short outs and then mix in the run with it.
32-yard line of scrimmage. Riley looking to pass again. Going to throw down the sideline, and Dunn is open, and he turns around and can't come up with the footballs. It was underthrown. If it's thrown far enough, it's probably going to be a touchdown, to be honest with you. Let's look at the replay. Ward, what do you see?
Well, you know, Brayton beat coverage here. Yeah, the ball's hanging up. He had 3 yards on him. That would have been a touchdown.
Got to catch that ball, though.
Yeah, he had a shot. You had...
On the coverage, it was Marshall Eckenrode. I'm sure Braden would like to have that back, despite the fact that it was underthrown. 2nd down and 10, and I think Homer Center they're going to have to throw the football if they want to have any success tonight, loosening up the running game. They give to Landon Hill. Landon over the 35 to the 37-yard line. He'll gain about 5 yards. Cambria Heights 14, Homer Center Wildcats nothing, with 5:45 moving clock here in the second quarter. Sets up 3rd down and 5 for the Wildcats. Tackle made by Tanner Tribus. Michael Krajosic, a receiver to the right boundary, as Tribus matches up on him out of his left cornerback position. Riley from the shotgun is going to keep it, and Riley going to lose a yard back to the 36-yard line, and the Wildcats are going to have to punt it away again. The read option just not there, Ward. The timing.
Well, again, Cambria Heights committing 7 to 10 people to stopping the run, and they're having great success at it. You got to go to the short pass.
Dan Jones, the snapper for Homer Center, good to see him back. He's good as a long snapper. Michael Krajosic getting set for his 36th punt of the season. And the snap is true. He rolls to his right, rugby style. Yeah, he does kick it. It's end over end, and takes a favorable Homer Center roll, bounce inside the 35 to the 30, touchdown at the 29-yard line, where Homer Center will play defense with 4:37 left. Since 2009, IRMC at Chestnut Ridge and Blairsville has been there for you and your family with convenient access. Urgent Care is open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., but that's not all. They simply offer you more than neighboring clinics with seamless access to the main hospital. IRMC in Indiana. Enough with the waiting game. You can count on IRMC at Chestnut Ridge, Old Route 22 in Blairsville, where you can get in, get out, and get better. A part of the IRMC family. Better health, better life. Defense needs to make another stand here, Ward.
Yeah, and I think they got to vary some things, Mark. Maybe shoot guys up and back, get some motion there, get the offense a little concerned about where they're going to be.
And the give, and with the football, it is Tanner Tribus, and Tribus from the 30 up to about the 34-yard line. Jackson Arone, and also
Mason Bell
on that tackle. Yep.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, have your linebacker sneak up on the line, give the linemen something to worry about, because they're just sitting there waiting and they're getting blocked because they are.
2nd down, 7 to go for Cambria Heights.
You got to do something to slow the offense down.
Ball on the left hash as we look out of our S&T Bank broadcast booth. Running with the football, it is Eckenrode in over the 40 up to about the 44-yard line. I think that was Marshall Eckenrode. Let's double check it.
It wasn't Tribus.
Yeah, it was Eckenrode. Eckenrode, only his 13th carry of the season. He came in with 61 yards rushing, a 5.1 average. And they thought maybe they'd fool Homer Center handing it to him, and they did pick up a first down before Braden Dunn made the tackle, but they're at the 44-yard line.
A lot of misdirection in this offense. It was very hard for a defense to read. This was why you need to get penetration. You get in there before that misdirection takes
Stockley going to pass. It's a wobbler, and it's intercepted. Krajosic at the 40, up the right sideline, 50 to the Cambria Heights 40. 40, to the 30, to the 25, to the 20. Still on his feet at the 15, the 10, and Homer Center will have first and goal as he's finally tackled at about the 6 or 7 yard line. Michael Krajosic's third interception in as many weeks. He did not have an interception for the first 8 weeks of the season. And this was kind of a wobbler as we look at it on our replay, and Krajosic picked it off at the 35-yard line. And we have a media timeout on the field as he returns it up the right sideline. We'll keep it here for the moment. Maybe we don't have it. No, we don't have a media timeout. Dragging him down from behind was Snedden.
Great play by Mike, and no hesitation. Once he caught it, he just sprinted toward the end zone. Good job. Homer sets up just about the 6-yard line. Need a big play right here.
First and goal from the 6. Deep back is Landon Hill, and they hand it to him. Bounces it outside. Looks like an easy trip to the end zone, and he is in the end zone for a Homer Center Wildcat touchdown. So the interception by Krajosic has flipped the script here for the moment. It's 14-6 as Landon Hill takes it in for his 15th rushing touchdown of the season. It's 14-6.
Boy, nice seal block over there, and I'm pretty sure it was Mason Bell. He sealed the man. There's nobody out there. Great job.
Long snapper Dan Jones, holder Riley Clevenger. Homer Center's not been good in this department as of late. Krajosic 18 of 27 for 66%. Snap a little bit low, but it's put down and the kick is up. Did it get over the upright? It did, barely, but it doesn't matter how much as long as it's over that crossbar. And the Wildcats are on the board thanks to the interception of Krajosic. One play later, Landon Hill cuts the lead in half. IRMC Playoff Sports Night coverage continues from Cambria Heights with the score Homer Center 14, Cambria Heights 14, and the Homer Center Wildcats 7 on the Renda Media Football Network.
When your vehicle needs tended to, take it to Baroni's Auto Care. Baroni's Auto Care inspects, does minor repairs including brakes and exhausts, as well as oil changes and tune-ups. And if you're looking for tires, Baroni's Auto Care sells all brands. Baroni's Auto Care is currently accepting new customers. So when your vehicle needs inspected or repaired, take it to Baroni's Auto Care right off Route 56. Look for the sign in Brush Valley.
Business happens here, and here, and here. At First Commonwealth, we believe that to be the best bank for the businesses that create strong communities, we need to understand the way they work, see their companies firsthand, meet them face to face, and build a relationship so we can help them build their business.
One play, 6 yards, took 6 seconds, 14-7, just like that, how quickly things can change. There's a squib kick going to head out of bounds off of the foot of Landon Hill. And let's see if Heights takes it at the 35-yard line with 3:09 remaining. Things getting away from Glendale. Good news from Penns Manor as it's 21-0 late in the second quarter. Penns Manor over the Glendale Vikings. And it looks like they'll take the option and take the football at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, that's still not so bad. Homer's had terrible problems with their kick defense or their return defense, and 35 isn't all that bad. Boy, that is one of the keys to the game, was it not? I said they needed 2 to 3 turnovers of that quality to really have a shot here. So they got one. Let's see what they can do now.
Stockley, I should say, 5th interception of the season proves costly. 59-yard return officially for Michael Krajosic, and Landon Hill finished off the short drive. And quarterback keeper, it's going to be Stockley on the read option as he faked the jet handoff to Tribus, and the Wildcats defense does a good job. Isaiah Bentz on the stop along with Vinny Taglietti. as they go quickly. They've gone no huddle and operated very quickly here, the Heights Highlanders have.
Maybe they'll pick up the Wildcat D there. Show a little more enthusiasm here. Maybe get after this team, force them to start having third and longs.
Wildcats would have to win tonight to avoid a losing season. If they don't, it would be their first losing season since 2011. Stockley throwing down the right side, and it's almost intercepted, or it is intercepted by Homer Center's Michael Krajosik again, who ripped it out of the hands of Stephen Nealon. Michael Krajosik, all-state cornerback last year with 8 interceptions, goes the first 7 weeks of this season without an interception, and now he has 4 in 3 games. Go figure, and the Wildcats have the ball back with 2:25 left here in the first half.
Not sure what the purpose of throwing the ball at that point was for the Heights. They'd been moving it pretty well on the ground, and if they start trying to throw into the air, that's really helping the Wildcats out, especially when they're throwing in Krajosik's direction. That's a great pick. That was a great pick. He kind of baited him. He had his man behind him, but he was able to get up and pick it off more. Let's see what the offense can do now.
Homer Center at their own 38-yard line. We've talked about sometimes coaches outthink themselves.
Yeah, we do.
Taking the direct snap is Krajosik, and they knife him down for a loss back at the 36-yard line. And was that Stockley that came up and, or let's see, it was Mulroney, I think, one of the linebackers.
Again, just missed blocks.
Yep.
People are running right past these guys, and they're getting and making plays. They've got to pick up the block.
Mulroney, talk about Stockley with all of the tackles, but Mulroney's been very good too with 62 tackles this season, third on the team. Joseph Snedden second with 72. Second down and about 12 to go. They fake it to Hill. Riley trying to hop through a hole, and Riley out over the 40 to the 41-yard line. Defensively, that was Snedden for the Cambria Heights Highlanders. So it'll be third down and 8. 90 seconds left here in the first half, and a timeout going to be called, or we have an injury, and Riley Clevenger is hobbling off the field, their third-string quarterback, and he flips off the straps on his helmet, takes his helmet off, and he injured his ankle. Who was that against, Ward? That was a road game at Purchase Line.
Yeah.
He didn't even actually play offense. He was hurt on the first defensive series. So it'll be Braden Dunn as they restart the clock. And Homer Center, yeah, I'll tell you what I would have done. They take a quick timeout, but I would have allowed the play clock to roll down to 1 second and use every second instead of giving them extra seconds should they have to punt, but what do I know? 1:24 remaining in the second quarter. It's Cambria Heights 14 and the Homer Center Wildcats 7. 3rd and 7 for Homer Center when we return on the Renda Media Football.
The Twin Cities Event Hall is the perfect place to host your next special occasion. The event hall, located on the grounds of the Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club, features an air-conditioned banquet room that comfortably seats 200, a beverage bar, a stage and refurbished hardwood dance floor, and a brand new kitchen that is caterer-friendly. The Twin Cities Event Hall is perfect for weddings, anniversary parties, or any occasion. The Twin Cities Event Hall is now accepting bookings, located off Route 119 in Grayston on Neal Road. Find them on Facebook or call 724-541-3683.
On scoreboard, 5 minutes to play in the half. Northern Cambria 35, Moshannon Valley 15.
Wow. Colts came out ready to play, did they not?
3rd down and 7. Braden Dunn, 4th-string quarterback in there, and he fumbles the snap, picks it up, and is tattooed for a loss back to the 35-yard line. Stockley, Snedden in there, and Braden didn't have a chance. We'll look on our replay monitor in the booth. A little motion from Krajosik, and I'm not sure if Krajosik bumped into Dunn or not. Tribus was in there first.
Tribus blitz from the left side. That's something I would say the Wildcats need to do.
Timeout called by Cambria Heights with 1:19 remaining in the half. We'll take a quick break with them. Our Renda Digital TV coverage presented by the Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club. You're watching and listening on the Renda Media Football Network. It's 14-0 or 14-7 Heights over Homer Center. Back after this.
Looking for one of the coolest new products in the market, or maybe looking for that unique Christmas present? Psst, it will cure your pain at the pump.
SeaWorld Satellites is now offering the Go Express e-bike, made for the urban commuter and weekend adventurer, combining city cruising and all-terrain riding. From pavement to hills, streets to sand, take your Go Express bike to your next meeting or exploration. This e-bike can run up to 18 miles in electric mode. To look at or take a test ride, come to SeaWorld Satellites on Wayne Avenue in Indiana.
Michael Krajosik, the punter, his punt comes near sideline. They had good pressure up the middle, but Michael got it out of there. Short punt going to cover only 25 yards, and Heights will have it at their own 40-yard line. With 1:10 remaining on the clock, they have a 14-7 lead over Homer Center. Cambria Heights with no timeouts remaining, however.
That's the good news for the Wildcats, so they need to be aware of that. Again, be alert to the misdirection. You know, get some penetration, do anything you can to slow that down.
Homer Center will get the ball to start the second half, so this would be huge if they could go down into the locker room down by only 7. And Stockley takes the direct snap, rolls to his right, pass batted and incomplete. Landon Hill in the area just got beyond the line of scrimmage, and they almost on a deflection through a third interception.
Yeah, had that gone farther, Landon had a good shot at it, and he had nothing but sideline if he catches it.
Krajosik has ended the last 2 Cambria Heights drives with picks, one that set up a score for Homer Center, but Riley Clevenger injured on the last possession. So we'll see how that goes. Second down and 10 from their own 40, 65 seconds remaining. And Stockley gives on an inside counter, and Bentz smothers Tanner Tribus for a loss in his own backfield, back to the 38-yard line. Isaiah Bentz, Homer Center's 5th leading tackler, 3rd on the team in tackles for a loss. And somebody didn't block Big Cupcake there, and he tackled Tribus, and a timeout called by Homer Center. We'll step out for 30 seconds on an Indiana Regional Medical Center playoff sports night. 53 seconds remaining in the half. It's 14-7. Homer Center trailing the Highlanders on the Renda Media Football.
Robindale Energy Services is a proud supporter of high school athletics and our hometown community. To do its part for the local rural areas, Robindale Energy has been cleaning up refuse coal piles that dot the western Pennsylvania landscape. These waste piles, remnants from past decades of mining in the region, are removed and used to create affordable energy for America. Robindale Energy has helped to clean up hundreds of miles of streams and channels. In the area where the land has been restored for a while, streams have become alive again and able to support plant and fish life. For employment opportunities, contact Robindale Energy at 814-446-6700, extension 120.
Cambria Heights. Wildcats, up until October 7th, had only, last time they had been to Patton for a game was 1968. That went pretty well, 52-0.
Yeah. They haven't had a lot of luck out here, though. And boy, that was a nice job. That's what I'm saying about getting some penetration from your line. That blew that play up.
3rd down and 12, and Stockley, shotgun snap, rolls to his left. Tagliaetti sacks him back at the 30-yard line, and Homer Center is going to take their final timeout. They're going to say 32 officially. He spun him down to the 30, but that's the proper call where he hit him. And we get the replay as he came up the middle, and Homer Center brought a blitz too with Mason Bell, and Stockley was not going to elude the grasp of Vinny Taggs. We'll keep it here in our S&T Bank broadcast booth, relationship banking, one customer at a time. It'll be 4th down and about 18 to go for the Highlanders, and the Wildcats with no timeouts left will get one shot left, and they have a couple splash players returning punts that they field it and catch it.
They
can make something happen.
They've been getting some penetration. You could see kind of a renewed vigor here with his defense. And again, we were talking about just changing things up a little. They threw a little blitz in there, screwed up the blocking scheme, and boy, Taglione gets back there. Nobody's getting away from him, and that's what happened there. He got a hold of a very good runner at Stockley, and he was done. Let's see if they can get in there and pressure this punt now. Again, you got to be aware Tribus could run.
Yeah, but 4th and 18, I would advise against it.
Yeah, but he could run.
He's not going to run. Snap wobbles back, but he gets it away. And the Wildcats, for whatever reason, they allow it to bounce, and then Dunn picks it up. I'm not sure what Homer Center's return men are doing.
I don't know. I think they're just reluctant to come up and catch the ball. When it's punt like that and you're deep, you got to come up and meet the ball. And obviously that didn't happen. And what does happen, though, is that when you catch it on the bounce, you get leveled. And maybe there's a lesson learned in that.
Well, I'd like to think so, but this is week 11.
I harp on this all the time. You got if you're back there, you can't fear catching the punt.
Yep.
You've got to catch the punt.
You make a mistake, you make a mistake. The bigger mistake is allowing it to roll. Riley Clevenger back in there for Homer Center.
What a tough kid, I'm telling you.
I love that kid. And the pass underneath, diving attempt, I think it was short hopped. My eyes did not deceive me, it was. So to go as an incompletion. Riley out of the shotgun. And it was done as a protector, and they kind of flared him out in the flat, but he threw underneath, and diving attempt, just the pass underthrown a little bit. So 30 seconds exactly on the scoreboard here at Patton on this gorgeous night for football. Temperature at kickoff was 63 degrees. From the shotgun, it is Clevenger again, and he's going to hand it off to Landon Hill, and Landon backs his way over the 25 to the 27, and I think Homer Center is going to be content with going to the locker room down by just 7. And all things considered, as Brett Bills made that tackle for Cambria Heights, that's not too bad, and Homer Center will get the ball to start the second half. That's the end of the first half. There is no more. Cambria Heights jumped out quickly, dominating things in this football game before Michael Krajosik, Homer Center's outstanding senior, made his presence felt with back-to-back interceptions. One of them came with a 59-yard return to the Cambria Heights 6-yard line, and Landon Hill cut the lead in half. Coming up at halftime, both bands are going to perform a couple of songs together. The Cambria Heights and Homer Center marching bands. We'll see if we can pick up just a little bit of that when we return on our ITT halftime show. It's Homer Center trailing Cambria Heights 14-7. Halftime report coming up next on the Renda Media Football Network.
Robindale Energy Services is a proud supporter of high school athletics and our hometown community. To do its part for the local rural areas, Robindale Energy has been cleaning up refuse coal piles that dot the western Pennsylvania landscape. These waste piles, remnants from past decades of mining in the region, are removed and used to create affordable energy for America. Robindale Energy has helped to clean up hundreds of miles of streams and channels. In the area where the land has been restored for a while, streams have become alive again and able to support plant and fish life. For employment opportunities, contact Robindale Energy at 814-446-6700, extension 120.
Building or remodeling? Save yourself some steps and march to PenningtonSpecialty.com. Randy George at Pennington Specialty takes pride in every job, and you'll see that when you march into PenningtonSpecialty.com. Contact Randy George at Pennington Specialty for a free quote. If you're talking construction of any kind, you should be talking to Randy George at Pennington Specialty. One visit to PenningtonSpecialty.com, and you'll see why people have been marching to Pennington Specialty for years. Randy George is also a grad of Homer Center and is Wildcat proud and wishes the team the best of luck on their march to a district championship.
At IRMC, we have all of the necessary pieces in place to perform complex operations, including highly skilled and specially trained surgeons, their support team of experts, and advanced technology like the Da Vinci robotic surgical system. As a result, patients spend less time in the hospital, recover faster, and get treated close to home. So there's no reason to puzzle over where you should get your surgical care. The answer is right here at IRMC.
Hi, Wildcat fans. This is Coach Greg Page. I would like to thank Wildcat Nation for your support, and I especially want to thank the Homer City Area Athletic Booster Club for making tonight's video presentation possible. The Bears Midget program has provided a foundation for Wildcat football for decades. Through the growth of the boosters, they now impact many of our sports here at Homer Center. From our team, we say thank you, Homer City Area Athletic Booster Club, for making a big difference in our community since 1958.
Find your smile again with Evolutions 2 in downtown Indiana, offering hair alternatives and solutions for any lifestyle in need. Build your confidence with a personalized one-on-one consultation with experienced stylist Lisa Hunter, and take the steps to regain your life with one of Evolution 2's many hair solutions available. There is a fit for everyone, from adults to children. So call or find Evolutions 2 on Facebook. Evolutions 2 in downtown Indiana. Find your smile again.
Back to our ITT halftime report. 14-7 Cambria Heights. Homer Center and Cambria Heights marching bands combining for a couple of songs. Let's see if we can pick some of it up right here. That's nicely done. Combined bands, we heard them as we pulled in at noon, rehearsing, and we weren't that early. John Smathers was here early, not at noon, but with all this stuff we have. Let's pick up a little bit of the next song before we get to our first half recap. 14-7 Cambria Heights leading the Homer Center Wildcats at the half. The Highlanders and Wildcats combined marching band. Band entertainment being presented by First Commonwealth Bank. Time to be first. Outstanding, Ward. I like it.
I love it. I always did like bands performing at halftime.
Well, how about this tomorrow, before we get to our radio replays? Tomorrow at IUP is hosting Clarion. Their new band director, John, do you remember his name? Zach. What a job he's done. The old band at IUP for years, they'd put you to sleep at halftime. This guy has transformed the IUP marching band into a true football band. The atmosphere is night and day different thanks to this guy who came from the University of Colorado. Tomorrow, he organized IUP Band Alumni Day. All of the hotels in Indiana County are jam-packed. The game is sold out. The visiting bleachers will be full of 900 alumni band members that will all perform at halftime. With the current band, there will be over 1,000 musicians on the field.
Are you kidding?
That is going to be fantastic at Miller Stadium tomorrow. You might hear it in Homer City in the rich section that you
never heard
live
of that
in.
many people on the
You'll
field.
hear it in your gated community. Let's get to the first half recap. Homer Center won the toss and deferred. Cambria Heights started at their own 12-yard line after the kick got past the Highlander return men, but it didn't stop them. They drove 7 plays, 75 yards, took 2 minutes and 50. Oh, wait, I got the wrong page here. They started at their own 17-yard line, 14 plays, 83 yards, 74 of them belonged to Tanner Tribus, and it was Tribus, appropriately enough, giving the Highlanders the lead on a 2nd and 9 play from the Wildcat 21.
Wingman to the right is Eckenrode. They reposition Tribus, and he gets the direct snap. At least I think that's him, and he cuts it outside at the 15, the 10, to the right pylon, and a touchdown for Tanner Tribus. They shifted him into the backfield, and he took the direct snap. Homer Center not even close, and it's 6-0 Cambria Heights as they drive 83 yards, and with 3:59 left in the first quarter, they draw first blood very impressively at 6-0.
It sure was impressive. Possessed the ball in almost the entire first quarter because Homer Center went 3 and out on their opening possession. Cambria Heights went back to work at their own 25. Now we can flip the page to quarter number 2. Cambria Heights on the first play starting at the Homer Center 12-yard line. They were faced with a 3rd down and 8, and Tanner Tribus right back to work for the Highlanders.
They reshift Tribus again, and they give it to him, trying to bust it outside. Comes to the 10, cuts it up at the 5, into the end zone. He dives for a Cambria Heights touchdown. That's outstanding running by Tanner Tribus. Will Jones maybe had a shot at him, but couldn't track him down, and it's 13-0 Cambria Heights. Tribus' 2nd touchdown of the night with 11:14 left in the first half.
Junzo Deckard capped off the 7-play, 75-yard drive that did take 2 minutes and 53 seconds with the extra point. Homer Center didn't pick up their first down until the 7:18 mark. A pass to Braden Dunn of 13 yards on a 3rd down and 11, but they ended up punting it away. Here's where it started going in Homer Center's favor. 4:37 mark, Heights took over at their own 30. Michael Krajosik, an interception, his 3rd in as many weeks. A 59-yard return to Cambria Heights 6-yard line, and on the first play from scrimmage, Homer Center cut the lead in half.
From the 6, deep back is Landon Hill, and they hand it to him, bounces it outside, looks like an easy trip to the end zone, and he is in the end zone for a Homer Center Wildcat touchdown. So the interception by Krajosik has flipped the script here for the moment. It's 14-6 as Landon Hill takes it in for his 15th rushing touchdown of the season. It's 14-6.
Krajosik's extra point made it 14-7. Krajosik with another pick on Cambria Heights' next possession, but the Wildcats could not take advantage, and Riley Clevenger, their 3rd-string quarterback starting tonight, was hurt, but he did come back. But that was all the scoring in the first half. It's 14-7. Ward Hilliard will check the stats when we return on our ITT halftime show. It's 14-7 Highlanders over the Wildcats on the Renda Media Football Network.
I liked the one with the stained glass ship in the front door. You liked the one with the 2-car garage. But then we found it, the one. It had a porch swing, a yard for our dog, a room for your office. Sure, it was 95 years old, but when we met with Amy at S&T Bank, she mentioned they had been around for over 115 years, and that made me feel better. Because even if we won't be here in 115 years, maybe our grandkids will be.
Are you thinking of getting vaccinated? Talk to your doctor or pharmacist about the COVID-19 vaccine. The Health Initiative for Rural Pennsylvania would like to remind you that COVID-19 vaccines are available for children as young as 6 months. Talk to your doctor, your child's pediatrician, or your pharmacist if you have questions. You can also learn more by visiting vaccines.gov. That's vaccines.gov. Message made possible by the Health Initiative for Rural Pennsylvania.
Homer City American Legion Post 493, a longtime backer of Homer Center Athletics, is pleased to be a part of today's broadcast and wishes the best of luck to the Homer Center Wildcats this season. Homer City American Legion Post 493 has served Homer City and our veterans for more than half a century. They are a staple of the community and believe in giving back. So have fun today, teams. Represent your communities well. From your friends at the Homer City American Legion Post 493.
Hi, Wildcat fans. This is Coach Greg Page. I would like to thank Wildcat Nation for your support, and I especially want to thank the Homer City Area Athletic Booster Club for making tonight's video presentation possible. The Bears Midget program has provided a foundation for Wildcat football for decades. Through the growth of the boosters, they now impact many of our sports here at Homer Center. From our team, we say thank you, Homer City Area Athletic Booster Club, for making a big difference in our community since 1958.
You won this year's chili cook-off. Our girls played in the softball finals last spring. You're not just another policyholder to us. We remember your name. Hi, Cheryl.
He remembered my name.
Because it's your name. That's simple human sense. Jeff, Mary, Dan, Sarah.
Hi, my name is London, and this is the bus that I take to school every day. We have a really fun bus driver, and guess what? Smith Bus Company is hiring new bus drivers.
That's right, London. Smith Bus Company is hiring positions for full and part-time drivers and driver's assistants. They provide transportation for 5 area school districts, and they're proud of the work they do. Apply now at smithbusco.com, an equal opportunity employer.
7, Cambria Heights with the lead as we welcome you back to our ITT halftime show. It is time for the first half stats presented by First Commonwealth Bank. And Ward Hilliard, let's hear them.
All right, for Cambria Heights, Tanner Tribberson with 15 carries, 105 yards, 2 touchdowns in that mess. Lucas Storm, 5 carries, 28 yards. Ty Stockley, 7 carries for 11. And Eckenrod carried one time. He had 11 yards. There were 28 rushes, 155 yards, 2 touchdowns. Through the year, Stockley was 2 of 6, 51 yards, 2 interceptions, which kind of turned the things around for Homer Center. 34 offensive plays by Cambria Heights, 206 yards. Quite a dominating performance, but they're really up 7. Homer Center had 6 carries for Landon Hill, 28 yards and a touchdown. Braden Dunn had 2 carries -4. Riley Clevenger, 4 carries for 8. Michael Krzyzowski, 1 for -2. Homer, 13 rushes, just 30 yards and a touchdown. Through the air, they were 1 of 5 for 13 yards. Just 18 offensive plays, Mark. That's half of what the Highlanders had for 43 yards. So that's got to improve. Homer gets the ball when they come out, and what they need to do is put together a drive to tie this thing.
Yeah, total yards for Heights,
206.
206. Yeah, that's domination, and obviously the interception, the big difference. Out-of-town scoreboard before we go to break. Halftime, not going well for West Shamokin. 35-0, Richland leading West Shamokin. It's 35-21 Northern Cambria over Moshannon Valley. Portage 7, Juniata Valley 6, and Penns Manor leads Glendale at the break 21-0. That's our ITT halftime report. Stay with us for the start of the second half from Patton, Pennsylvania. Our score, Cambria Heights Highlanders 14 and the Homer Center Wildcats 7. Cambria Heights will be kicking off to Homer Center when we return right after this on the Renda Media Football Network.
Robindale Energy Services is a proud supporter of high school athletics and our hometown community. To do its part for the local rural areas, Robindale Energy has been cleaning up refuse coal piles that dot the western Pennsylvania landscape. These waste piles, remnants from past decades of mining in the region, are removed and used to create affordable energy for America. Robindale Energy has helped to clean up hundreds of miles of streams and channels. In the area where the land has been restored for a while, streams have become alive again and able to support plant and fish life. For employment opportunities, contact Robindale Energy at 814-446-6700, extension 120.
At IRMC, we have all of the necessary pieces in place to perform complex operations, including highly skilled and specially trained surgeons, their support team of experts, and advanced technology like the Da Vinci robotic surgical system. As a result, patients spend less time in the hospital, recover faster, and get treated close to home. So there's no reason to puzzle over where you should get your surgical care. The answer is right here at IRMC.
The Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club is making a splash, continuing to grow its membership. The Sportsman's Club features a fishing pond that is well stocked. Inside the club, members can enjoy a game of pool, or how about shuffleboard? What's your favorite team, including the Wildcats and more? The Grayston Coral Sportsman's also has a shooting range and takes pride hosting kid-friendly events. And be sure to check out the nearby Twin Cities Event Hall for your next special occasion. Proud to sponsor the Wildcats, the Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club, located off Route 119 on Neal Road in Grayston.
Hi, my name is London, and this is the bus that I take to school every day. We have a really fun bus driver, and guess what? Smith Bus Company is hiring new bus drivers.
That's right, London. Smith Bus Company is hiring positions for full and part-time drivers and driver's assistants. They provide transportation for 5 area school districts, and they're proud of the work they do. Apply now at smithbusco.com, an equal opportunity employer.
Robindale Energy Services is a proud supporter of high school athletics and our hometown community. To do its part for the local rural areas, Robindale Energy has been cleaning up refuse coal piles that dot the western Pennsylvania landscape. These waste piles, remnants from past decades of mining in the region, are removed and used to create affordable energy for America. Robindale Energy has helped to clean up hundreds of miles of streams and channels. In the area where the land has been restored for a while, streams have become alive again and able to support plant and fish life. For employment opportunities, contact Robindale Energy at 814-446-6700, extension 120.
Come back and the Highlanders will kick off to Homer Center. Got a text in the booth. Want to say hello to Lisa and Rob Wooster, also Matt Getty. They're down in the Bradenton, Sarasota area, the Anna Marie Island to be exact, listening to the game crystal clear. Not sure if they're, it says listening, not sure if they're listening or watching. I'd like to tell our fans, if you are listening and you want to watch, you can do so by looking for our link to Renda Digital TV at WCCSradio.com. That's WCCSradio.com. Our YouTube channel. You can also search Renda Digital TV on YouTube. Want to express our sympathy wishes to Kim Kaler. Father passed away. Getting that message in the booth. Friend of my sister Janice's. So Cambria Heights teeing it up. Big opportunity for Homer Center here, Ward, on the opening possession of the second half.
You got to show some offensive flash here. They've only got 43 yards, so they need to start exerting their will a little bit on the Heights, and if they can do that, can swing momentum, Mark. I think they've got them a little bit on the run now with their defense, their secondary picking up.
Junzo Deckard has it teed up as we get set to go here, and he approaches the ball, and it's a end-over-end good kick, going to be taken, though, at the 15-yard line by Dunn to the 20. They kick away from as a flag flies, and Dunn to the 40, to the 45. Not going to matter. It's going to come back as we had an obvious penalty. There are 2 flags down. They kick away from Krajosik all the time, these teams, and Braden Dunn a pretty good weapon too, but Greg Page, as we look on our replay monitor, getting an explanation from the referee and no real complaint. And let's see where it's going to be a block in the back from the spot of the foul. We'll see where Homer Center starts. It's going to be certainly inside the 20-yard line. No replay, John, on that. We don't have the replay, but the way the crowd reacted, you could tell it was something obvious that happened, and then 2 flags came a-flying.
Nice run back, though, by Braden. He came up and caught the punt or the kick and then took off. He had momentum going forward. That's how you do it. And what they might do, Mark, is stand together. I've seen this a lot in college, and these two returners will stand next to each other, and then just as the kicker approaches, they'll split, so they don't know where that key guy is, like Krajosik.
So they're going to start at their own 15-yard line as a result. Looks like that might be Krajosik in the backfield. And it is. And he makes a little move, the line of scrimmage to the 20, and he's flung out of bounds, spun out of bounds by Tanner Tribus, but good yardage, 8 yards for Krajosik as Homer Center. A little change-up at halftime, a little adjustment.
And that's all it took. I mean, they did a little bit of tweaking for their defense, and that resulted in some stops and some sacks. A beautiful sack here by Tags.
Krajosik now will be a receiver to the right boundary. Slot receiver left is Braden Dunn. Casey Harper out here as well. And Riley's going to keep it, and Riley going to lose yardage back to the 22-yard line. Well, there's Homer Center maybe outthinking themselves.
Well, he kind of fumbled the snap. When he got it, you can see he juggled the ball. That broke the play all up, and he didn't have a chance then.
So it'll be third down now and a solid 3. This is the Joseph Snedden on the tackle. 12th all-time meeting between these two teams. Heights leads the all-time series 8-3. Just the third meeting since 1968. They played a lot in the 60s.
Yep.
9 of the 12 games played in the 60s. Clevenger hands to Hill. Hill dives for the lead chain and has the first down for the Homer Center Wildcats. That's just wanting that lead yard marker, and Landon Hill wanted it. Marshall Eckenrode stopped him. Jerry, what's Landon's yardage right up to date? Quick stats all night long, brought to you by First Commonwealth Bank. Landon Hill, 37 yards on 7 carries. I formation behind Clevenger, and they give it to Hill. Hill, breaking a tackle, gets to the 30, has 4 yards. Defensively, it was Zane Miller on the tackle for the Cambria Heights Highlanders.
I like the changeup, don't you? I mean, they went into a straight I formation that time, just changing things up a little, and the defense prepared for certain things are getting something else, and sometimes that gets them a little off kilter. Let's see what happens.
Second down and 6. H-back to the right is Mason Bell. They give to Hill, not much that time, a yard, as it looked like Mason Bell came over and tried chipping a tackle, but not sure he got him, and he limits Hill. That tackle, I'm not sure who made that tackle for the Highlanders, but it was a 1-yard gain.
Well, again, you can see they're stacked. That defense has got 10, 11 people up within 5 yards.
Brett Bills, the linebacker, made that stop. So it's third down, 5 to go for Homer Center from their own 31-yard line. Krajosik in the backfield again. He's to the right of Riley Clevenger. To the left is Hill. Again, a different look here. And they're going to run it. Nope, it's going to be Riley keeping it, and he's going to be close. I think he's going to have the first down to the 36-yard line. Again, a different look for Homer Center. They had twins in the backfield. Krajosik to the right, Hill to the left, and gave something Cambria Heights to think about. They faked it to Krajosik, and Riley kept it for the first.
Yeah, nice job by Riley, and that was a good read on his part. He saw enough of a gap that he could get the first down, and that's what he did.
Homer Center's 15-11 in playoff games under Coach Greg Page, qualifying for the District 6 playoffs for a 7th straight year, 9th time in the past 10 years under Coach Page. First and 10, give to Landon Hill, stutter stepping his way, but he can't get free, and making that tackle for the Cambria Heights Highlanders, it was Gavin McConnell, 6'6", 265-pound senior.
That's a big dude, isn't it?
They're without one of the players that kind of rotated a bit with McConnell, Garrett Jasper. He's out with a concussion. Second down and 8 from the 38. They reposition Hill right to left. Homer Center operating right to left as we look out of our S&T Bank broadcast window. There's a nice pass underneath to Braden Dunn for short yardage, but effective yardage, about 6 yards up to the 44. Those are the types of passes we both like, Ward. On the tackle is Marshall Eckenrode, the safety fourth on the team with 58 tackles. It's 3rd down and 2.
Yeah, those are ball control. They're pretty safe passes, and certainly Riley delivered. Boom, boom. He got 6 yards. That's what you need to do. And now they got a makeable 3rd down here.
This time, Twins left, H-back right is Bell. And Riley Clevenger hands it off to Hill. No, he's going to keep it. He eludes a defender and has a 1st down. Great job by Riley, and Joe Snedden doesn't miss many tackles for the Highlanders, but Riley made a miss. As we look on our replay monitor, Ward, describe it.
Yeah, you see Riley fake. They took that little fake there, and that allowed him to give a little juke inside to beat that tackle. Was that Snedden that he missed him?
Yeah, Snedden missed him. McConnell finally tackled him, but the Wildcats a new set of downs at their own 47, and Riley looking to pass. Throws underneath. Has Braden Dunn again. And the Wildcats 7 yards on 1st down pass. That same play, they went right back to it.
Now they can run that.
And we have a penalty flag on the play as well. Let's see. That might be a. Tell you what, it might be a tackle to the. It might have been helmet to helmet, Ward. Let's see. John, give it to us again. Well, you'll look. It's not. I wouldn't describe it as vicious, but I think it was helmet to helmet. And second guy coming in, boom, right there.
That might have been the one, that second guy.
And that is Tribus, by the way. What did they call?
Face mask.
Oh, okay, face mask.
Come on, defense!
Nice little drive Homer's putting together, Mark. It's exactly what the doctor ordered. They're mixing it up. They're keeping the ball away from Cambria Heights.
High formation behind Riley. They give to the deep back. And that is Landon Hill, and not much for Landon to the 40. Landon needed 64 yards for 2,000 in his career. He went over 1,000 last week in the 45-3 victory over Myersdale. Good defense by Heights, and it was Snedden or Eckenrode. It was Eckenrode, and he's the safety, Ward, and he came up and made that tackle.
I think, Homer could do a little misdirection or a little counter plays with Landon just to give him a shot at a gap. There's just no place to go.
Twins left and right, deep drop, and Riley going to throw deep down the seam and incomplete at the 10-yard line. Breaking free, Braden Dunn, but he had to unload the ball because he felt the pressure up the middle from the Cambria Heights Highlanders. And as we look at it, Lucas Storm came and hit Riley right when he was delivering the ball, and it's 3rd down and 10. If Riley's able to read it a little bit longer, we may be looking at a 1-point Cambria Heights lead.
That was just beyond.
Come on, you guys, hold on.
3rd down and 10 from the Highlanders' 40. Riley Clevenger takes the shotgun snap, slant in, too tall for Casey Harper, and it sets up 4th down and 10. And let's see what the Wildcats do. That play was there. If the ball's on target, as we again on the video side, we get a chance at the replay. Yeah, it was open.
A deep slant, and again, they're hard to defend. I think Homer's going to go for this.
14th play of the drive. They've possessed the ball the entire 3rd quarter, and it does look like they will go for it. They come out with Braden Dunn, slot receiver to the left, Michael Krajosik up top if you're watching it, Casey Harper at the bottom of your screen. 4th down, 10 to go. Clevenger throws, and it's incomplete in between Harper and Dunn. They both kind of stopped, Ward, some confusion, and that was a play that was there. Was that only 3rd down? So the Wildcats, it was 4th down. The way the Wildcats were reacting, I thought maybe I had messed up on the downs, but it is
there's two
stall
guys,
at the 40.
We're in the same, you don't have two guys in the same spot. That was a misread on their part. Miscommunication, if nothing else. So the Wildcats, nice drive. They stalled. Now their defense needs to step it up again.
Cambria Heights will call it the 41-yard line. That's where they take over with Ty Stockley under center. Turns, and he's going to keep it on that little quarterback counter that they had so much success with the first meeting. And he's out over the 45 to the 46-yard line for 5 yards. Homer Center, too bad they had the ball 14 plays, 45 yards, hit a couple nice pass plays.
That's what they need to do, Mark. Keeping things safe. Then they went back to the deep pass. You know, they were having success with that short pass, but they couldn't get away from wanting to throw deep.
Romy Dokos on that tackle for Homer Center, but 5 yards for Stockley, who entered the game with 873 yards rushing. And he hasn't played for 3. And there's a fumble. It's on the field, and it's picked up by Tribus, and he's smothered for a loss. I think maybe Stockley had was tripped by the turf. I was looking down. Let's see, as we'll get a better view of it here on our replay. He takes the snap, and he tripped over a lineman, or the turf got him. But they ended up losing 7 yards on the play, and now there's a flag on the play, sideline warning on Homer Center. So the next one will cost you more. But now the Highlanders with 5:32 remaining in the third. It's 3rd down and 12. They lead 14-7. Where's our Mistretta meter award?
Oh my, yes.
It's here. It's in the house.
It's a valuable piece of equipment.
We treat it like the Stanley Cup. 3rd down and 12 from the 39-yard line. They shift and have Tribus twins to the right. And they're going to throw it out in the flat, and the Wildcats come up, and the Wildcats have them as a flag comes in, and could be a face mask penalty on Homer Center. It's just a matter now if it's 5 yards or a personal foul variety, and the officials say personal foul, face mask on Homer Center. That's going to give them a 1st down. Let's see, we'll get a replay. Well,
I don't think so.
I don't think that. He let go of it pretty quickly.
He made the tackle without the assistance of a face mask.
So instead of getting off the field, yep.
Good job by the Wildcats coming up on that play, however. So they've got Cambria Heights digging into the bag a little bit.
Come on now, let's go.
So that's good news for the D, but they have got to make a stop. Surprised the Highlanders have gotten away from their counters.
1st and 10 at the Wildcat 49. And up the middle, it is Lucas Storm, and not much, Ward.
No, nice job. Again, they closed that gap.
On the tackle, Vinny Taglietti.
If they just vary their D a little differently, once in a while throw a little blitz in like they did on that pass rush, it confuses the blocking. And Cambria Heights was expecting one thing, they're getting something else, and that's how you make plays.
2nd down and 9 from the Wildcat 48-yard line. And Stockley at Connor right, and with the football. Not much. Is that Tribus with the football?
Yeah.
It is, and the Homer Center Wildcats defense it. Landon Hill, Harper, and others.
This defense is playing entirely different than with the early part of the game, Mark. They're really putting up a fight, and that's good to see. This is the kind of defense that you take some pride in. And they to make a big play here, though.
End of 3 now. Portage 13, Juniata Valley 6 on our out-of-town scoreboard. Penns Manor on their way to a victory, leading 21-0 early in the 4th quarter. Here with 3:26 left in the 3rd, it's 14-7. And they give, and with the football, it is Eckenrode, and he's going to be stopped, and I would think Cambria Heights is going to have to punt the football. Vinny Taglietti, yet another tackle for the Homer Center Wildcats.
Boy, those are plays that worked early, and they're not working now, so there was an adjustment the Wildcats made.
Tribus back to punt for Cambria Heights, and let's see how the Wildcats, what they do here. Punt return team, they're going to send Krajosic back. We'll have a media timeout after this punt. Tribus stands at his own 41. The long snapper is Stephen Nealon. Line of scrimmage, Wildcats 46, and Tribus does kick it. And it's coming near sideline. Fair catch called for by Krajosic. Takes it at the 18-yard line, and the Wildcats will take over after the media timeout. with 2:35 remaining in the third quarter. It's Homer Center trailing Cambria Heights 14-0 on the Renda Media Football Network.
Robindale Energy Services is a proud supporter of high school athletics and our hometown community. To do its part for the local rural areas, Robindale Energy has been cleaning up refuse coal piles that dot the western Pennsylvania landscape. These waste piles, remnants from past decades of mining in the region, are removed and used to create affordable energy for America. Robindale Energy has helped to clean up hundreds of miles of streams and channels. In the area where the land has been restored for a while, streams have become alive again and able to support plant and fish life. For employment opportunities, contact Robindale Energy at 814-446-6700, extension 120.
Business happens here, and here, and here. At First Commonwealth, we believe that to be the best bank for the businesses that create strong communities, we need to understand the way they work, see their companies firsthand, meet them face to face, and build a relationship so we can help them build their business.
That's ball after a 29-yard punt at their own 18-yard line, and they come with Krajosik in the backfield again to the right of Riley Clevenger. Wildcats, of course, lost starter Cole McAnulty and backup Angelo Alexander. Here's Krajosik bouncing it outside, trying to get to the corner, and he's dragged down from behind at the 21-yard line, so it'll be a gain of just 3 yards. Snedden was over there, and it was Marshall Eckenrode, though, that made the tackle. Ward quirky stats. Homer Center, when they rush for over 200 yards, they're 3-1. And when they have less than 10 passing plays, they're 4-1. Don't
ask me to tell you why that is.
Third down and 7. Riley, speaking of passing plays, is going to throw, and it's intercepted. And running with the football, it is Stockley, I believe. It is Ty Stockley with the interception, and they will be set up in the red zone, 1st and 10 at the Wildcat 13-yard line. Pass intended for Dunn, and Riley Clevenger just didn't see Stockley as we get the replay on our monitor in the booth.
Yeah, went to the well once too often that time. That little turn in worked for 2 or 3 times, but you can't keep going back. They're smart players on the Heights team, and they made an adjustment and picked the ball off. It's going to put Homer's defense with their backs to the wall.
And keep in mind, they have an excellent kicker. If they are held to a field goal, it is Stockley keeping it, and Wildcats limit them to a short gain, maybe to the 10-yard line.
Yeah, those plays were going for big yardage, especially in the first meeting, but the Cats have tightened that up.
Is that Aiden Bikina in there defensively that made that tackle? The Wildcats, Aiden returning from injury. Looks like the old T formation here with Stockley under center, Tribus running back near side of our press box location, and they give it to him. He's trying to bounce it outside, gets by Arone. Krajosik can't get him, and he's now close to a first down, maybe even has it. Will Jones on the far side, and Jackson Arone recovered, but it's going to be 1st and goal for Cambria Heights. Let's see where they put the football down at the 3-yard line.
Yeah, he's just getting to that edge way too quick. Yeah, Homer's done a pretty good job of adjusting to that stuff, but that time they got burned.
1st and goal at the 3 now. They're waiting for the play call, and a little bit of confusion, but Stockley's going to go under center with Tribus in the backfield with Storm and Eckenrode. And they give it, no, Stockley keeps it. Stockley fighting for the goal line, trying to power his way in, and they hold him out of there at the 1, maybe inside the 1. So it'll be 2nd down and goal. Final 35 seconds on the third quarter clock. Cambria Heights trying to extend what is currently a 14-7 advantage and take advantage of the turnover. And they're not going to run a play in this third quarter. That's all there is. There is no more. Cambria Heights will be knocking on touchdown's door when we start the fourth. thanks to In First Bank for presenting the third quarter. Coming back with the fourth. Second down and goal from inside the 1 with Cambria Heights leading 14-7 on the Renda Media Football Network.
Are you thinking about getting vaccinated? Talk to your doctor or pharmacist about the COVID-19 vaccine. The Health Initiative for Rural Pennsylvania would also like to remind you that COVID-19 vaccines are available for children as young as 6 months. Talk to your doctor, your child's pediatrician, or your pharmacist if you have questions. You can also learn more by visiting vaccines.gov. That's vaccines.gov. Message made possible by the Health Initiative for Rural Pennsylvania.
Hi, Wildcat fans. This is Coach Greg Page. I would like to thank Wildcat Nation for your support, and I especially want to thank the Homer City Area Athletic Booster Club for making tonight's video presentation possible. The Bears Midget program has provided a foundation for Wildcat football for decades. Through the growth of the boosters, they now impact many of our sports here at Homer Center. From our team, we say thank you, Homer City Area Athletic Booster Club, for making a big difference in our community since 1958.
It's going to take a Herculean effort for Homer Center to hold them out of the end zone. They'll have 3 plays from inside the 1-yard line as we start the fourth quarter with Heights leading 14-7.
Nice to see a fumbled snap, perhaps, something of that nature. But yeah, it's going to take great effort. Homer needs to come up, blitz up the middle, put pressure on Stockley right off the bat.
Under his center, Zane Miller. He has a lone setback in Lucas Storm. Sets a man in motion, but it's a quarterback keeper, and he has himself a touchdown. Ty Stockley's 13th rushing touchdown of the season. And the Cambria Heights Highlanders take advantage of that Stockley interception. Appropriately enough, he set it up with the pick, and he finishes it off with the short touchdown run, and it's 20-7 Heights over the Homer Center Wildcats.
That's where you had to put your defensive influence there, right over the center, knowing he was going to sneak it.
Junzo Deckard to attempt the extra point out of the hold of Stockley. Long snapper Stephen Nealon. Decker 28 of 33 on the season from the extra point department, and you can add another one to the column. 4-play, 13-yard drive took a minute 57. IRMC High School Sports Night coverage continues on WCCS Renda Digital TV, presented by the Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club. It's now 21-7, Cambria Heights over Homer Center on the Renda Media Football Network.
Hello, this is John Lefdahl, owner and director of the John A. Lefdahl Funeral Home, wishing the Homer Center Wildcats much success in the upcoming playoffs. It's always an awesome feeling to achieve success, be it in business or in sports. You as players have made our community proud. To be a winner, it takes much dedication, time, and preparation. Give it 100%, and years from now, you'll look back with fond memories of what you have accomplished. Go get 'em, Wildcats. The John A. Lefdahl Funeral Home is behind you.
Business happens here, and here, and here. At First Commonwealth, we believe that to be the best bank for the businesses that create strong communities, we need to understand the way they work, see their companies firsthand, meet them face to face, and build a relationship so we can help them build their business.
Junzo Deckard has it teed up, approaches the ball. 21-7, Cambria Heights with the lead, and coming up to field it at the 20-yard line is Braden Dunn to the 30, to the 35. It's actually Michael Krajosik, as they did flip it. I think that is Krajosik on the return.
Yeah, I think it was too. The way he was running, it looked like Krajosik.
So up near the 40. A lot can happen to kids after hours, and not just on the gridiron. Babies get fevers, children step on glass, athletes twist their ankles. Ward Hilliard trips coming out of, we won't go there. If your child or teen needs care, however, and your doctor's office is closed, IRMC at Chestnut Ridge is open weekdays and weekends from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. What a great idea when you need them. Since 2009, IRMC at Chestnut Ridge, Old Route 22 in Blairsville, where you can get in, get out, get better. part of the IRMC family. Better health, better life.
Big series for the Wildcats. Need to score on this drive.
From their own 40, Riley Clevenger trying to get to the corner, and Riley tripped up in front of the Wildcat bench on the far side of the field. As we look at it out of our S&T Bank broadcast booth, relationship banking, one customer at a time. Riley just faked the toss and then went opposite, I don't want to say naked boot, but along those lines, and picked up a couple, but Joseph Snedden was standing in his way.
Too many linemen are standing and blocking, and they're not.
Is there an injury on the far side, or just
no, they're
just taking their time?
Yep. They're getting a play call.
Glendale scored and made it 21-7. Penns Manor now trying to answer. 8:04 remaining in that game, and now with the football, it's Landon Hill. Landon up to the 45-yard line, going to set up 3rd down and 5. Brett Bills on the tackle. Homer Center, Ward, this isn't 3rd and long, but would you believe 3rd and long, 7 yards or more, Homer Center 6 of 52 for 12.2% on the season. That's incredible.
Yes,
incredibly not
bad.
Good, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty bad, too.
3rd down and 5 for the Wildcats, and Clevenger looking to pass. Flush now tucks it away, trying to break a tackle. Far sideline, leans, has a 1st down. What an effort by Riley Clevenger, unless they're going to say his knee was down, but it looks like they're going to give him the 50-yard line, which would be good for a 1st down.
Nice job by Riley there. He pulled that down, found a little gap, and he is tough to bring down. He just doesn't want to get tackled.
And that percentage just went up.
Yes, it did. And again, Homer needs to convert here.
I want to say hello to our good friend Jimmy Sutter, viewing tonight's game on Renda Digital TV.
Little Suds.
They fake the toss. No, they do toss it to Landon Hill, and not the right decision that time, as Cambria Heights read it. Bills, among others, in there on the tackle, going to stop Hill for a loss.
You need a quick back for that play to work. I mean, Landon's got good speed, but he's got to get it going. And Cambria Heights read that perfectly. He had 2 guys back there. He didn't have a chance.
Jackson Klein, I think it was, a sophomore, who was magnificent because he took both Clevenger and Hill and handled it. Toss left, Hill. Now they're going to run a reverse and look maybe to throw a little trickery, but Dunn's going to tuck it away, and he's tripped up and loses yardage back to the 41-yard line. Well, good idea. Good time to try to catch him. They tossed it left to Landon Hill, and then he flipped it to Braden Dunn, who's capable of throwing, but Cambria Heights didn't bite. The play just wasn't there downfield. Credit Cambria Heights.
Yep, they did a nice job.
Most teams would have been fooled at that time, to be honest with you.
Homer doesn't run a lot of that, and that would certainly had everybody fooled but the one defender who made the play.
3rd and 19, not ideal, Ward.
No, don't got too many of those in your playbook.
8:45, clock running out on Homer Center. Clevenger looking to pass, throws over the middle, deflected, and it's almost intercepted on a double deflection by Tanner Tribus. And the Wildcats will have 4th down and 19, and they send out the punt team with 8:38 remaining in the football game.
Yeah, that was disappointing. At this stage of the game, 8:38 to go and counting, you're down 21-7. You needed to push down, and if nothing else, pin Cambria Heights deep, but didn't do either.
Michael Krajosik to punt, long snapper Dan Jones, and the kick is a good one from Krajosik away from Tribus. It hits at the 28, takes a favorable Homer Center bounce. This time it was Cambria Heights that didn't field the punt. They only had a single return man back, and Homer Center will have it Cambria Heights will have it at their own 19-yard line. Punt covering 40 yards and no return.
Well, it's pretty obvious. The Wildcat D has to come up with a 3 and out, try to get the ball back. They do not score on big plays. They have not. And with Riley at the quarterback, you can't expect that to happen. He can only do so much. So they're going to need to get off the field right away and then get something going offensively very quickly.
New Homer Center Superintendent Ralph Cesari was just in the house. he will not start until after Thanksgiving. And the handoff and coming near side, Krajosic has Tribus, and that might lose a yard or two as we approach the 8-minute mark, 8:15 and counting.
Yeah, overall, Homer's D has played very well since those early 2 touchdowns. I thought they had just played maybe a little better.
Ralph Cesari, by the way, the District 6 football chairman. Wish I would have grabbed him for a second, but he's slipping away on us. 2nd down and 11. Under 8 minutes to play in the game, 21-7 Cambria Heights. And it's Stockley keeping the football, and Stockley not much as he refuses to go down. Greg Page talked about Stockley's will, and he said we can't be outwheeled by this young man again. And he felt they were in the first meeting, but it's been Tribus who's been a larger factor for Cambria Heights tonight. And on that tackle, Vinny Taglietti, he's had himself a heck of a game in what is looking like will be his final game, and it's been an outstanding career in a Wildcat uniform.
Yeah, sure has. Sure has. Well, they've still got an opportunity here. This is a big down. Stop this, force a punt.
3rd down and 7. 13th appearance in Coach Page's 16 years in the playoffs. I'd say Wildcat fans are spoiled a little bit. Timeout going to be called by Cambria Heights. 6:54 remaining in the football game. It's Cambria Heights 21, Homer Center 7, and you're listening and watching right here on the Renda Media Football.
Find your smile again with Evolutions 2 in downtown Indiana, offering hair alternatives and solutions for any lifestyle and need. Build your confidence with a personalized one-on-one consultation with experienced stylist Lisa Hunter, and take the steps to regain your life with one of Evolution 2's many hair solutions available. There is a fit for everyone, from adults to children. So call or find Evolutions 2 on Facebook. Evolutions 2 in downtown Indiana. Find your smile again.
At IRMC, we have all of the necessary pieces in place to perform complex operations, including highly skilled and specially trained surgeons, their support team of experts, and advanced technology like the Da Vinci robotic surgical system. As a result, patients spend less time in the hospital, recover faster, and get treated close to home. So there's no reason to puzzle over where you should get your surgical care. The answer is right here at IRMC.
Here we go. Huge play if Homer Center wants any hope. 3rd down and 7. Stockley option right, going to keep it. Homer Center's going to stop them shy of that lead chain, and I would think Cambria Heights would punt the football away and would not want to give Homer Center a short field if they were stopped on 4th down. They're going to put it down just over the 25-yard line, close to the 26. It'll be 4th down and about 3. Isaiah Bentz, cupcake on the tackle, and here comes the Highlanders punt team.
Yeah, it'd be foolish not to punt it away. You got a 2-score lead. You've pretty much controlled Homer's offense. Why take a chance of giving them a short field?
Homer Center defensively been better on the 3rd down, stopping teams on 31% of their chances. There's a high kick, and it's going to bounce, take actually a Homer Center bounce and go out of bounds in Cambria Heights territory. Could have immediate timeout if they wanted it, although it's supposed to be. We have a media timeout with 6:05 remaining in the football game. It's Cambria Heights 21 and the Homer Center Wildcats 7. Coverage on WCCS presented by IRMC, on Renda Digital TV by the Greyston Coral Sportsman's Club. Coming back with more on the Renda Media Football Network.
Homer City American Legion Post 493, a longtime backer of Homer Center Athletics, is pleased to be a part of today's broadcast and wishes the best of luck to the Homer Center Wildcats this season. Homer City American Legion Post 493 has served Homer City and our veterans for more than half a century. They are a staple of the community and believe in giving back. So have fun today, teams. Represent your communities well. From your friends at the Homer City American Legion Post 493.
When your vehicle needs tended to, take it to Baroni's Auto Care. Baroni's Auto Care inspects, does minor repairs including brakes and exhausts, as well as oil changes and tune-ups. And if you're looking for tires, Baroni's Auto Care sells all brands. Baroni's Auto Care is currently accepting new customers. So when your vehicle needs inspected or repaired, take it to Baroni's Auto Care right off Route 56. Look for the sign in Brush Valley.
Downfield as we come back, and an interception. Tanner Tribus on first down as they tried running the streak to Krajosic, and Homer Center turns it over. And that might be the nail that puts it in. What's the old saying?
The final nail.
The final nail in the coffin, yeah.
And
that's what I was trying to say.
In all likelihood, unless Cambria Heights coughs it up, it is. 5:58. They'll run at least 2 minutes off this clock, even if they don't get a first down.
Football at the Cambria Heights 20-yard line. So a season that started with so much hope for Homer Center, derailed by injuries and poor defensive play. Just really, though, Ward, it's in a way, it's, I'll get back to it, my thought after this play. They give up the middle to Lucas Storm, and Lucas powers his way for 5 or 6 yards. It's one of the things that make sport and football specifically great, because it teaches a lot of life lessons. There certainly are no guarantees. Caleb Palmer on the tackle for Homer Center.
No matter how good you are, you got to work to be better. Everybody else is working to be better. So you need to do that too, and then one step further.
2nd down and 3. I'll follow up on that point as we talk about what's happening at Penns Manor too. And they give again, and let's see who has the football this time. Massive humanity up the middle. Let's see here. Going to be enough for a first down, I believe. Might have been Eckenrode on the carry.
Hard to tell. They just kind of got in the scrum there. Nobody could tell.
Mason Bell, who's had a heck of a season.
He's been outstanding.
We will be naming a Renda Media All-Star team in a couple or 3 weeks. Going to do some unique things with our digital manager, John Smathers, and some video, and ballots went out to all of the coaches this week. 1st and 10, Cambria Heights. We're under 5 minutes to play in the game. They lead 21-7. And the give to Lucas Storm, he's going to be hit and pushed back. They'll give him the line of scrimmage. So the point about Penns Manor, you know, in the media day, Vinny Taglietti, by the way, on that tackle, media day, they were picked, I think, 5th in the preseason poll. John Smathers' preseason polls are always spot on, but not this year. But Bill Packer will tell you, Penns Manor's season was made in the off season. He's never had a group work so hard and dedicate themselves to becoming better. I'm not saying Homer Center didn't do that, because I know their line won some competitions and they were active, and injuries, I think, at the quarterback position hurt, but the defensive effort just was not of a winning formula, let's put it that way. Not a defense that's going to win you a district championship. Give and around the left side, Casey Harper stopped the ball carrier, and this time it was Tanner Tribus as he tried stiff-arming his way for some yardage. Under 4 minutes, clock stopped as he was forced out of bounds.
Now, when you talk about that, you know, Berlin, they pitched, 6-7 shutouts. That tells you that that's a good defense, and that'll help carry them. But they also have some excellent offensive people, so that's a good ball club, but it all starts with the defense.
They give, and running for some yardage before Mason Bell tackles him is Lucas Storm. This is just the 2nd home playoff game for Cambria Heights. The first one didn't go well. We actually were, as there's a timeout on the field called by Homer Center. First one didn't go well because we were coming back last year on our way from Glendale after Glendale eliminated Penns Manor. Forest Hill shut out Cambria Heights, the highest seeding team in District 6A, right here at home, 29-0. But their second ever playoff game is going well. They're well on their way to a victory. It's 21-7 with 3:45 remaining. Pause for 30 seconds right here on the Renda Media Football.
The Indiana County Technology Center is now accepting enrollment in our adult education programs. The ICTC's adult education programs offer in-demand post-secondary programs tailored to empower student success. From cosmetology to welding and practical nursing, the ICTC has a program for everyone. Indiana County Technology Center, empowering tomorrow's workforce.
Hi, Wildcat fans. This is Coach Greg Page. I would like to thank Wildcat Nation for your support, and I especially want to thank the Homer City Area Athletic Booster Club for making tonight's video presentation possible. The Bears Midget program has provided a foundation for Wildcat football for decades. Through the growth of the boosters, they now impact many of our sports here at Homer Center. From our team, we say thank you, Homer City Area Athletic Booster Club, for making a big difference in our community since 1958.
Cambria Heights, I'll finish the point. There's a rule, it's called the 10% rule in PIAA, where you can count, you only have to count 10% of your students that go to a technology center.
Vo-Tech.
Back in the day, it was Vo-Tech schools. So they took advantage of that rule in a big way. In 2 years, when the enrollments go back, that rule was voted abolished by the PIAA. Cambria Heights will clearly be a AA team.
Yeah.
So they dropped a single A. It raised a lot of eyebrows, really because of that.
Are you thinking of getting vaccinated? Talk to your doctor or pharmacist about the COVID-19 vaccine. The Health Initiative for Rural Pennsylvania would like to remind you that COVID-19 vaccines are available for children as young as 6 months. Talk to your doctor, your child's pediatrician, or your pharmacist if you have questions. You can also learn more by visiting vaccines.gov. That's vaccines.gov. Message made possible by the Health Initiative for Rural Pennsylvania.
Hello, this
Punt over the head of Michael Krajosik, and they allow it to bounce. Good punt by Tribus, and it will be dead at the 25-yard line with 3:35 remaining.
Tribus is not only a good runner, but he's a doggone good punter. He's hit some pretty good punts here tonight.
Penns Manor leading. It's bothering the heck out of me that somebody's standing in front of a...
Yeah, they're blocking the camera. We can't see the scoreboard on there. I understand they may have lost Marshall.
Marshall, maybe we got a report, maybe a broken arm. We hope not.
I do too.
Cambria Heights is a team that had Penns Manor on the ropes before the injury to Stockley, although it was early. Pass out in the flat, and it's caught on one knee by Krajosik. It'll be a gain of 5 to the 30 with 3.5 minutes remaining.
Well, you could run a couple of those and then maybe try something a little bit deeper.
Second down and 5. Cambria Heights healthy. They're going to give Penns Manor everything they want, and let's hope we have that matchup. We'd love to call it for you, and if we do, it would be in the District 6 championship game. Pass to Braden Dunn, incomplete.
Yeah,
go ahead, Jordan. I'm sorry.
They might have the edge. I think what happened in that game, they had some injuries.
Yeah, well, namely Stockley. Yeah. And when you're not prepared for that injury, and they have a fine backup quarterback. Sophomore Isaac Weiland's done a good job. But you're thrust into that role in the biggest game of the year. And Homer Center knows all about that with injuries at the quarterback position. Riley throwing deep for Krajosik, and Tribus has another interception, and he goes down at the 35-yard line. So the Wildcats, 3 interceptions in this second half.
You know, Riley's doing what he can do, and you got to admire the kid. Great effort. Really, a great effort by Homer Center as a whole, Mark. It started out with that couple of easy drives by Cambria Heights, who scored 14 points, and they were behind the 8 ball. Looked like it was going to be a blowout, but they've battled back and they hung in there. Just haven't been able to get their offense going.
2:59 remaining, 1st and 10 Heights. See if we have some scores that have rolled in. 21-7 with 4 minutes remaining out at Penns Manor. They must have shooed the guy out of the way that was blocking the scoreboard camera out of the way. Just said, get out of there. They tackled him. Andy Hart, our producer, said, get out of the way. Give to Lucas Storm, who's had a lot of carries in this 4th quarter. And it will be 2nd down and 7 on the tackle, Mason Bell. Other matchups tonight, Portage was at Glendale. And at last report, they were winning. Actually, it's a final. Portage wins at 20-6 on the road against the Hornets in Alexandria, Pennsylvania.
We've been there.
Yes, we have, more than once. The press box, the size of a shoebox.
Juniata Valley.
Approaching the 2-minute mark with Heights leading at 21-7. And it is Stockley keeping it, and why they even have him in there as they push him back at the 42-yard line. He's coming off of an injury. You have the game in control. I think I'd have him on the bench and avoid any risk of injury.
Yeah, he took a pretty good shot there.
Last report from Northern Cambria Ward, after 3, it was 42-28, Colts over Moshannon Valley. So if all of these scores hold, it will be Penns Manor hosting Portage next weekend, and Cambria Heights would travel to Northern Cambria. Coal Bowl 2.0. 3rd down and a yard. I'm sure Cambria Heights would like a little bit of revenge. That could be a great matchup next weekend. And the give up the middle and carrying for a 1st down. Was that Lucas Storm again? He was. Lucas Storm's had a workload here in the second half.
Has.
We'll get the updates from Jarrett. 1st and 10 at their own 44-yard line. 85 seconds, they restart the clock. Lucas Storm, let me find it here. 12 carries for 49 yards. Tanner Tribus, 19 carries for 116 yards tonight. And they're going to go into victory formation. Wildcats do have 2 timeouts, but there's not really a need to use them. And Stockley going to take a knee, and the Cambria Heights Highlanders will run one more play and get ready for a rematch in a game that they lost at Northern Cambria 35-28 on opening night of the season back on August 26th. And they're going to go at it again and play for a berth in the District 6 championship. Homer Center, just too many injuries, not enough defense, and their season is going to end for the first time since 2011. Wildcats will finish under 500. Very disappointing after such high hopes in the preseason, but that's sometimes the way things go. And they didn't go Homer Center's way this year in more ways than one. Lost a couple of games, one game on the final play of regulation and another game in the final minute of regulation. And just too many obstacles and challenges, adversity to overcome, Ward.
Yeah, it just never got the train on the track, Mark. It looked like they had an opportunity in one game, and the next game they just completely fall apart. I think that the lack of consistency is due to the injuries. That certainly had a major role to play. But you saw the heart of these kids in this game. They could have easily got blown out. They were down, and right away Cambria Heights was on top of them. But the Wildcats battled back. Big interception by Krajosik. They got on the board. Now they had a fighting chance. Had a nice drive to start this half. And had they scored there, it could have been entirely different. But I'm proud of the performance as I can be. As it was just a good effort on their part. Just they're overmatched here tonight.
Stay with us for our first Commonwealth Bank postgame show. The final here tonight: Cambria Heights Highlanders 21 and the Homer Center Wildcats 7. Coming back with the radio replays and a visit with head coach Greg Page when we continue from Cambria Heights. It'll be the Highlanders at Northern Cambria next Friday night. Penns Manor will host the Portage Mustangs. That's all there is for Homer Center. They finished 5-6. Cambria Heights now 8-3. Coming back to Cambria Heights after this on the Renda Media Football Network.
Hello, this is John Lefdahl, owner and director of the John A. Lefdahl Funeral Home, wishing the Homer Center Wildcats much success in the upcoming playoffs. It's always an awesome feeling to achieve success, be it in business or in sports. You as players have made our community proud. To be a winner, it takes much dedication, time, and preparation. Give it 100%, and years from now, you'll look back with fond memories of what you have accomplished. Go get 'em, Wildcats. The John A. Lefdahl Funeral Home is behind you.
Find your smile again with Evolutions 2 in downtown Indiana, offering hair alternatives and solutions for any lifestyle in need. Build your confidence with a personalized one-on-one consultation with experienced stylist Lisa Hunter, and take the steps to regain your life with one of Evolution 2's many hair solutions available. There is a fit for everyone, from adults to children. So call or find Evolutions 2 on Facebook. Evolutions 2 in downtown Indiana. Find your smile again.
Business happens here, and here, and here. At First Commonwealth, we believe that to be the best bank for the businesses that create strong communities, we need to understand the way they work, see their companies firsthand, meet them face to face, and build a relationship so we can help them build their business.
At Diamond Medical Supply, we're always on your team. No matter your sport, you can count on our support. With braces, bandages, biofreeze, and so much more, all to keep you in the game. We're a winning care solution, no matter what you play. Diamond Medical Supply, keeping you healthy this season because we care about care.
Hi Wildcat fans, this is Coach Greg Page. I would like to thank Wildcat Nation for your support. And I especially want to thank the Homer City Area Athletic Booster Club for making tonight's video presentation possible. The Bears Midget program has provided a foundation for Wildcat football for decades. Through the growth of the boosters, they now impact many of our sports here at Homer Center. From our team, we say thank you, Homer City Area Athletic Booster Club, for making a big difference in our community since 1958.
Luther Ford, one trusted name, two great locations. Right now at Luther Ford, order your new Ford and lock in 2.9% APR financing for 60 months, no matter when your new vehicle comes in. That's right, order your new vehicle now and your interest rate is locked in even if rates go up. Just stop in today and drive away in your new vehicle from Luther Ford. Luther Ford, two great locations, Homer City and Evansburg. Click on lutherford.com.
We welcome you back to Cambria Heights, a 21-7 Cambria Heights victory over Homer Center, ending the Wildcats season at 5-6, first losing season under Greg Page, first losing season for Homer Center period since 2011, as they've been on a remarkable roll over the past decade. Cambria Heights improves to 8-3 as they got their starting quarterback, Ty Stockley, back from injury, and he helped lead them here tonight. They scored on their first possession, going on a long 14-play, 83-yard drive that chewed up most of the first quarter. And they had it in Homer Center territory. They were faced with a 2nd down and 9 at the Wildcat 21.
Wingman to the right is Eckenrode. They reposition Tribus, and he gets the direct snap. At least I think that's him, and he cuts it outside at the 15, the 10, to the right pylon, and a touchdown for Tanner Tribus. They shifted him into the backfield, and he took the direct snap. Homer Center not even close, and it's 6-0 Cambria Heights as they drive 83 yards, and with 3:59 left in the first quarter, they draw first blood very impressively at 6-0.
Junzo Deckard added the extra point. It was 7-0 after one period as Cambria Heights took over after stopping Homer Center on a 3-and-out. They started the second quarter at Homer Center's 12-yard line. They had a 3rd down and 8, and Tanner Tribus, who had over 100 yards rushing, right back to work.
They reshift Tribus again, and they give it to him, trying to bust it outside. Comes to the 10, cuts it up at the 5, into the end zone. He dives for a Cambria Heights touchdown. That's outstanding running by Tanner Tribus. Will Jones maybe had a shot at him, but couldn't track him down, and it's 13-0 Cambria Heights. Tribus' second touchdown of the night with 11:14 left in the first half.
7 plays, 75-yard drive that took 2 minutes and 53 seconds. Less than a minute into the quarter, it was 14-0. Later in the second quarter, Homer Center's Michael Krajosik, a big play in this football game that at least temporarily tilted the momentum to the black and white sideline. Krajosik, his third interception in as many weeks at the 35-yard line. He returned it 59 yards all the way to the Cambria Heights 6-yard line, and on the first play from scrimmage, Landon Hill cut the lead in half.
From the 6, deep back is Landon Hill, and they hand it to him, bounces it outside, looks like an easy trip to the end zone, and he is in the end zone for a Homer Center Wildcat touchdown. So the interception by Krajosik has flipped the script here for the moment. It's 14-6 as Landon Hill takes it in for his 15th rushing touchdown of the season. It's 14-6.
Hill, who needed 64 yards for 2,000 in his career, was held to 39 yards on the night, so that will have to wait perhaps until opening night next year for Homer Center. But it was 14-7 at that point, and Krajosik with another interception on Cambria Heights' very next possession, but Homer Center couldn't take advantage, and making matters worse, third-string quarterback Riley Clevenger, you know the drill. He was replacing first- and second-string quarterbacks Cole McAnulty and Angelo Alexander, who were out for the season. He got hurt, although he did return. We had a 14-7 lead at the half, and Homer Center very much in the game. They had a couple of nice passes to start the second half, but a face mask penalty assisted them all the way to Cambria Heights 41, but they ended up stalling. 14 plays, 45 yards. Took over 5 minutes, but nothing to show for it. We didn't have any scoring in the third quarter, so we went to the fourth as Cambria Heights actually in that third quarter, they had had an interception from Stockley that returned it to Homer Center's 13-yard line, so it set them up deep. They had a second down and goal at the Homer Center 1-yard line to start the fourth quarter, and they added to their lead.
Right off the bat. Under his center, Zane Miller. He has a lone setback in Lucas Storm. Sets a man in motion, but it's a quarterback keeper, and he has himself a touchdown. Ty Stockley's 13th rushing touchdown of the season. And the Cambria Heights Highlanders take advantage of that Stockley interception. Appropriately enough, he set it up with the pick, and he finishes it off with the short touchdown run, and it's 20-7 Heights over the Homer Center Wildcats.
Junzo Deckard, extra point, made it 21-7, just 4 ticks into the fourth quarter. And for all intent and purposes, that was the football game. The Wildcats threw 2 more interceptions in the fourth quarter, both intercepted by Tanner Tribus to salt this game away. As Cambria Heights wins it 21-7, they advance to the District 6 semifinals. They started the season at Northern Cambria on August 26th, and they're going to go back to Duffy Doherty Stadium next week and try to avenge it. What was a 35-28 loss at Northern Cambria. That should be well of a football game. And on the other side of the bracket, Penns Manor will host the Portage Mustangs. Coming back with a look at the stats on our first Commonwealth Bank postgame show, Greg Page will join us as well. 21-7, Cambria Heights wins it over Homer Center, ending the Wildcat season on the Renda Media Football Network.
Are you thinking about getting vaccinated? Talk to your doctor or pharmacist about the COVID-19 vaccine. The Health Initiative for Rural Pennsylvania would also like to remind you that COVID-19 vaccines are available for children as young as 6 months. Talk to your doctor, your child's pediatrician, or your pharmacist if you have questions. You can also learn more by visiting vaccines.gov. That's vaccines.gov. Message made possible by the Health Initiative for Rural Pennsylvania.
The Indiana County Technology Center is now accepting enrollment in our adult education programs. The ICTC's adult education programs offer in-demand post-secondary programs tailored to empower student success. From cosmetology to welding and practical nursing, the ICTC has a program for everyone. Indiana County Technology Center, empowering tomorrow's workforce.
At IRMC, we have all of the necessary pieces in place to perform complex operations, including highly skilled and specially trained surgeons, their support team of experts, and advanced technology like the Da Vinci robotic surgical system. As a result, patients spend less time in the hospital, recover faster, and get treated close to home. So there's no reason to puzzle over where you should get your surgical care. The answer is right here at IRMC.
The Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club is making its splash and continuing to grow its membership, and they invite you to attend two great events this month. It's the club's steak and rib dinner on October 16th. Make reservations by the 11th. Call 724-479-3985. Don't forget the club's Halloween dance at the event hall on Saturday, October 22nd. Doors open at 6 p.m. DJ starts at 8. $5 admission. Food, games, fun, and best costume contests open to the public. Proud sponsor of the Wildcats, the Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club, Neal Road, Grayston.
Thank you very much. Back in our booth on our first Commonwealth Bank post-game show, 21-7, Cambria Heights ends Homer Center's season. Highlanders will travel to Northern Cambria next week in the semifinals. Homer Center now 0-9 in road playoff games, just the opposite of their home record. They're 12-1. That's why you want a good season and home field advantage, Warden, being the higher seed. Most times the higher seed is the better football team. They're there for a reason, and Cambria Heights proved that tonight. What about the stats?
For Cambria Heights, Tanner Tribus had 19 carries, 116 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Lucas Storm had 12 carries for 49 yards. Ty Stockley, 14 for 35 and a touchdown. They had 47 rushes, 204 yards, and 2 TDs. Through the year, Stockley was 3 of 7 for 48 yards and 2 interceptions. Total of 54 offensive plays, 252 yards. The interesting thing, they ran 20 plays and gained 46 yards the entire second half. So it was a terrific effort on Homer's defense. They just couldn't get it going offensively, and these numbers will bear that out. Landon Hill, 13 carries, 39 yards. Braden Dunn, 3 carries, -10. Riley Clevenger, 9 for 22. Michael Krajosik, 3 for 9. Homer had 28 rushes, 60 yards, and a touchdown. Through the air, Clevenger was 4 of 16, 31 yards, 3 interceptions. Homer had 44 offensive plays and 91 yards. So a good effort by the defense in the second half, but the offense just couldn't get anything going. Simple as that.
Total yards, 252
to 91.
First Commonwealth Bank postgame show will continue from Cambria Heights. Greg Page expected to join us up in the booth as well. 21-7. Congratulations to the Cambria Heights Highlanders. They advance to the District 6 semifinals. They'll travel down the road, the old Coal Ball 2.0 it will be. And that's going to be a lot of energy in the stands next week, because these two schools through the years really haven't liked each other that very much. And I'm sure Cambria Heights will have a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. And I see Tanner Tribus kind of limping down below us, but I'm sure he'll be fine. He's probably more worn out than anything after 19 rushes for 116 yards and 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions on the defensive side of the ball as he led the Highlanders to a 21-7 victory on the Renda Media Football Network.
Find your smile again with Evolutions 2 in downtown Indiana, offering hair alternatives and solutions for any lifestyle and need. Build your confidence with a personalized one-on-one consultation with experienced stylist Lisa Hunter, and take the steps to regain your life with one of Evolution 2's many hair solutions available. There is a fit for everyone, from adults to children. So call or find Evolutions 2 on Facebook. Evolutions 2 in downtown Indiana. Find your smile again.
Hi, Wildcat fans. This is Coach Greg Page. I would like to thank Wildcat Nation for your support, and I especially want to thank the Homer City Area Athletic Booster Club for making tonight's video presentation possible. The Bears Midget program has provided a foundation for Wildcat football for decades. Through the growth of the boosters, they now impact many of our sports here at Homer Center. From our team, we say thank you, Homer City Area Athletic Booster Club, for making a big difference in our community since 1958.
Luxembourg's Jewelers, a proud supporter of all the area athletes, would like to wish the best of luck to all the Heritage Conference schools and, of course, the Indiana Little Indians this season. With 2 convenient locations, Luxembourg's Jewelers is the winning choice for gifts of any occasion. Show your school pride with gifts ranging from beautifully logoed coffee mugs, keychains, money clips, water bottles, and more. From the Indiana Mall to downtown Indiana, Hip, Jeff, and the Luxembourg's team wishes everyone an MVP season. Luxembourg's Jewelers is Indiana's jeweler.
Milk every moment.
Dan in a van hasn't returned your call? Chuck in a truck can't get there for 2 months? Stop dealing with fly-by-nighters and call a company that's fully capable for all your plumbing and heating needs. Joyce Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Incorporated. Joyce Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Incorporated is on call 24/7, 365 days a year. Visit us at joyceplumbing.com. That's joyceplumbing.com. Joyce Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Incorporated, the best place in town to take a leak. PA 042115.
You won this year's chili cook-off. Our girls played in the softball finals last spring. You're not just another policyholder to us. We remember your name. Hi, Cheryl.
He remembered my name.
Because it's your name. That's simple human sense. Jeff, Mary, Dan, Sarah.
And we welcome you back in our broadcast booth on the First Commonwealth Bank postgame show. Greg Page joining us after a season-ending 21-7 loss over the Cambria Heights Highlanders. Coach, sum it up for us. Always disappointing, but I thought the kids had a pretty gutty effort.
They did. It's always tough. It's you get to the point I told them before the game. It's playoff football, so it's do or die. And we lost to a real good team tonight. After digging ourselves a little bit of a hole. Because they kind of pushed us around a little bit early on. We fought back, got it to 1 score at the half, and we just couldn't crack them. I mean, they're real good defensively. Their playmakers made plays, and we just didn't have enough. But I'm so proud of the effort. I mean, it's just, you hate to see it end. You really do. Saying goodbye to 14 seniors, some of which 8 or 9 4-year guys, and it's not easy to do that.
No, it isn't. You were right in the ball game at halftime, 14-7, and got the big interception from Krajosic that set up the touchdown, and things started off promising in the second half. You took the kickoff, you hit a couple of pass plays, had things going, face mask penalty on the Highlanders, but just couldn't quite get over the hump.
No, and you know what? That's a credit to them. I mean, anything you do, you're going to have a down 5-man front with some beef and physicality. And, a kid like Stockley makes a play on the next drive. He makes a nice bait and read play, and they take that, and it just was hard. It was hard to get anything consistent going offensively, and when you can't do that, now you're resorting to go to the air, and a lot of times good things won't happen.
No, and you pulled everything out that you could out of the playbook, I thought, too, with you're with Riley, who's done a remarkable job really being put in that situation. We love that kid and the heart he showed all season long. I love the trickery, and to their credit, they really weren't fooled. Many teams, I'll tell you what, I think would have been fooled big time on that play, and it just didn't work out, but I give you credit for trying some things.
Yeah, we worked on a few things. At this point in the season, you get a little stale with things, so you want to try to mix it up, and we executed it pretty well. in practice. The one kid leaked through on this side, and that kind of forced Braden into some pressure there, and he couldn't get away from his grasp, and then he couldn't get himself set to throw it. Those things happen. You're not going to win games like that, but maybe you shake things up a little. The kids enjoyed that kind of thing. I can't fault their effort at all. I was real disappointed the first drive or two, and then we bounced back. I mean, we really did.
Ward?
Yeah, that's one of the things, Coach, that I was really proud of the way that team responded. They could have just folded.
Right.
They were down 2 scores. They were pushed all over the field, and suddenly the defense, I don't know, did you guys do any adjusting, or they attack a little more?
We were trying to stay with our one linebacker look, which we've used the last couple of weeks, and, we shut the run down the last few weeks doing that, and it helps you on the edge. They were exploiting that, so we went back to one of our regular looks. I think it kind of eased the tempo down a little. We still were able to shut down the outside for the most part. And I think the biggest thing was we got a little more physical. I mean, they were pushing on us, and we're grabbing in the first quarter and the early second quarter. You can't do that against these guys. You can't. You get an opportunity, you got to lay shoulders in. We weren't doing that. It picked up a little. We made the adjustment. And, from there, I mean, it's anybody's game. We just needed to get something to get over the hump, and we couldn't do it.
Yep. Coach, I mentioned it at some point in the second half that this great game of football, and I think sports in general, teaches a lot of life lessons. You had a lot of high expectations in the preseason. Of course, I know you hate it, but the preseason polls.
Yeah.
But you can't forecast certain things like injuries to 2 quarterbacks. And I'm not making excuses, but I don't know that there are too many high school teams, pro teams for that matter, that are going to lose 2 quarterbacks and come out of it in great shape. It's just not an ideal situation. You tried everything, but those injuries and lack of solid playoffs, if you're going to win championships, you need to play solid defense.
Yeah.
Just couldn't get over the hump. There was just so much adversity this year like I haven't seen in your 16 years. Would you agree? And
Yeah.
It's just the way. But my point is, I think even though it ends 5-6 and does not go your way or the kids' way in particular, because that's what matters most,
Yeah.
it still teaches lessons.
Absolutely. And, people throw that out, adversity. I even use that a couple times. We've had so many years here where we've been fortunate with the injury bug not affecting us and, maybe affecting other teams, and we've perhaps stolen a few games. What I like about this group of kids was every day they came back. Now, we had a couple guys I thought could have been a little more dedicated. We'll have a few moving forward that I think need to be a little more dedicated. But overall, I mean, I enjoyed coming to practice every day. It went fast. And, when you can say that it went fast, you're enjoying it. It's productive. And it was a roller coaster. We're aware of the expectations. I'm not going to fault these kids' effort at all. I mean, we were dealt a rough hand. It is what it is. You got to overcome. And I told a couple of our guys, playing this great game of football, it will help you get your butt out of bed for the next umpteen years. And I mean that because it's just, to me, it's like no other. And I respect other sports, but, you get knocked around, it teaches you something.
There's a lot of emotion down on the field, especially with the seniors. As we have the benefit of the monitor here in the booth, and
Yeah.
they were zooming in on some of the mini huddles. It's tough, isn't it?
It is. I had the honor of going and seeing all 14 guys. I think I did. I tried. People were coming around, and it was my honor to coach them, and I'm sure the honor of our staff. Kids are kids. They're not going to be perfect every day. They get bumps and bruises. It takes so much to play this game. It takes so much in the way of guts and heart and dedication. I'll never forget them. I really won't. I really appreciate what they've done for our program.
It takes so much from a head coach and their staff, too, and you guys proved that out, I think, having them come back the way they did.
It does. It does. Our staff, I'm going to tell you what, it's just, we lost some great guys, with Mike.
Yes.
And Nick Raymond, Mike Arone, and, Gene came back late. That says a lot about him with his health issues. We're getting Joey Izzy back in the groove. Tony's just, Tony's steady Eddie. I mean, he's been the whole time he's been here, and there's a lot of pressure coming up with good defensive game plans. He relied on those guys, and Donnie Mester stepping it up to come up with the varsity. Eric Faust was a find for us.
Got to keep him.
I know.
I hear so many things about him.
Yeah, I mean, all those guys are just great football guys. And you got Mookie and Dave and John Cook with the junior high. I mean, it's a great staff. I'm blessed, really, individually, and I don't like to use that word I or I'm because it's our program, but, you can't lose quality guys like we did and still come back and go through what we did without the quality guys we have, and then we added on. I could go on and on all night. I'm grateful to them, Trainer Bob, and it's just everybody associated.
Two more things for me, Coach, here, maybe three. The first thing, we talked about, we're going to be rooting for Penns Manor. They're the only local, well, Northern Cambria too, but Indiana County team, Penns Manor will be the only team standing. Bill Packer talked about how his teams were so upset with their season last year, and he felt this season was won in the off season. So I think that's the challenge for your returning guys. You're going to have some good skill people back, and let's face it, all of the guys, including Landon Hill, were not healthy for a big chunk of this season, even the guys that were playing. But you're going to have to replace linemen. But more than anything, I think you're going to have to win the off season if you want to win next season.
That's absolutely true, and that's how we look at it every year. These guys, to their credit, so many of our seniors and some of our juniors, they went and lifted on their own after, away from our stuff. I mean, they still did our stuff, but it was incredible how they would go during other sports seasons. And I don't advocate that because those coaches want them, dialed in, but they would go because they saw the urgency. They weren't happy with the Guilfoyle loss last year. It's just tough. I mean, it is. Our guys coming back, and we'll wait and do that Tuesday or whenever, but there's going to be a huge challenge. I mean, we're going from some big, tough offensive linemen with experience, and we're going to be going in with very little experience. But if I know our kids and our coaches, and they know the status and what we expect out of our program, we'll get their best effort.
Greg, we don't take you for granted in this program. Wildcat fans, I think, have been spoiled and almost expect the playoffs. This is the 17th appearance in the playoffs in school history, but incredibly, since you took over in 2007, this year marks the 13th appearance in the playoffs in your 16 years as a head coach. That's really an incredible record of success. You've won a couple of district championships and, of course, guided the team to the state championship back in 2017. We don't take that for granted either. I'm going to give you a big-time compliment and say that's Jerry Page-like numbers.
Well, first off, I miss him. I miss the big guy, and it's tough. I love being here. I really do. I mean, these kids, it's like they know. They're so, even before I got here, well before I got here, with you had guys like Buff and Ron Coleman and Rick. Those kids were so tough. I mean, Homer kids are always tough. It's easy to coach kids that are willing. The families are supportive. We've gotten very little grief over the years from parents. I mean,
just broadcasters.
Yeah, broadcasters. Wives, maybe, that sort of thing. It's obviously easy to second guess a lot of things. I do that myself. We're all proud to be a part of this. We really are. It isn't easy. Some of those years, they're taking 12 teams. My first year, I think we were the 13th or 12th seed, and with a 4-5 record, we made the playoffs. I don't know if we deserved that. We went down, battled my dad's team really hard in the first round, so I felt like we deserved to be in it. There was a lot of years with Rick that the playoffs hadn't started yet, and even with Coleman, there was no district playoffs, and so it's those are kind of slanted statistics. I'll take it. I mean, it's good to hang your hat on that, but.
By the way, Dad won 20-7.
20-7,
right
yeah. It was 0-0 at the half. But I don't mind losing
Always
to guys like that.
Silver lining.
That's right, yeah. But it's been a blessing. It truly has.
Finally, a couple of weeks ago, I put you on the spot on the pregame show. I just asked for a prediction for the Appalachian Bowl. You thought I was going to ask you something different. I will ask you that question now because there has been some speculation, and it comes with being a head coach for 16 years. I think you even had a call from outside the county. Somebody heard, I hear you might be stepping down as head coach. We certainly hope it's not the end of the road. I told you, we know you have a lot of juice in the tank. Do you want to address that?
I don't know. Yeah, everything's fine. Everything's fine. I mean, I got a little frustrated earlier in the season with a couple of those last-minute losses, and believe me, again, it's not the kids. It's tough. I mean, I've been coaching something since 1988, whether it be football, basketball, baseball. So every year, I'll just tell you this, because this is the truth. Every year, you step back, you look, you evaluate. My wife is wonderful, Tracy. She's incredible, and she's like, hey, you do what you want to do. The girls are older. They're in college, that sort of thing. It was tougher when they were younger, and we weren't living here. And we moved here, and it kind of lit a spark. You know, it's been kind of magical since that time, because it just made a difference. But the honest truth is, every year, you know, you just kind of step back and look and see, do you want to put forth the energy in the off season and go back and do it all over again? So that's what I'll do. Each of these last 16 years, the answer to that has been yes, so I'm assuming it's not going to be any different this time around.
I would assume, too, because we'll close with this. You're closing in on a number. You're only 90-some wins away from matching your dad. So
why he keeps coming up, I don't know. People probably don't want to hear that, but, you know, it's just I get a little broken up earlier. He's been my inspiration. And then here, you know, you get inspiration from incredible kids and families and assistant coaches. I can tell you this. You asked the question a few minutes ago. I won't be around that long. There's no way in hell.
So we'll confirm that, huh?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you. We appreciate your cooperation. You're just fabulous. We love you to death. We hope we're doing this. You'll probably be doing what you're doing longer than what I'm doing, you know, doing what I'm doing.
Well, I don't know about that. But you guys are great, too. The time and the preparation, the media you have, and with John, and I know Michael back in the studio, and some of your other help, it's like, it's truly, we're real fortunate to have this kind of coverage. We really are.
Well, Todd Marino on Coach's Corner will be short on coaches tomorrow, but long on content from head coach Greg Page and all of us, and that's one of the reasons we did an extended interview.
Another good old Laurel Valley guy right there. Make sure you tell Todd I said that.
Okay. Well,
thank you guys very much,
Coach. Thank you, and it ends tonight, but we'll see you soon. Okay, we'll see. Good. Actually, we'll both be at the banquet, I think, next week.
That'll be a good time for everybody. Thank you guys very much.
That's head coach Greg Page with Ward Hilliard. I'm Mark Burdig, and we'll come back to Cambria Heights for a final time and wrap up this 2022 season when we continue on the First Commonwealth Bank postgame show. 21-7, the Highlanders win it over the Homer Center Wildcats. Back with more after this on the Renda Media Football Network.
Robindale Energy Services is a proud supporter of high school athletics and our hometown community. To do its part for the local rural areas, Robindale Energy has been cleaning up refuse coal piles that dot the western Pennsylvania landscape. These waste piles, remnants from past decades of mining in the region, are removed and used to create affordable energy for America. Robindale Energy has helped to clean up hundreds of miles of streams and channels. In the area where the land has been restored for a while, streams have become alive again and able to support plant and fish life. For employment opportunities, contact Robindale Energy at 814-446-6700, extension 120.
Building or remodeling? Save yourself some steps and march to PenningtonSpecialty.com. Randy George at Pennington Specialty takes pride in every job, and you'll see that when you march into PenningtonSpecialty.com. Contact Randy George at Pennington Specialty for a free quote. If you're talking construction of any kind, you should be talking to Randy George at Pennington Specialty. One visit to PenningtonSpecialty.com, and you'll see why people have been marching to Pennington Specialty for years. Randy George is also a grad of Homer Center and is Wildcat proud and wishes the team the best of luck on their march to a district championship.
Are you thinking of getting vaccinated? Talk to your doctor or pharmacist about the COVID-19 vaccine. The Health Initiative for Rural Pennsylvania would like to remind you that COVID-19 vaccines are available for children as young as 6 months. Talk to your doctor, your child's pediatrician, or your pharmacist if you have questions. You can also learn more by visiting vaccines.gov. That's vaccines.gov. Message made possible by the Health Initiative for Rural Pennsylvania.
This is the voice of the Crimson Hawks, Jack Benedict, with some exciting news. I'd like to invite you to join me and IUP football coach Paul Tortorella every Monday night at CH Fields in the Hilton Garden Inn for Hawk Talk with the coach. Hawk Talk will be on the
Head coach of the Highlanders joining us. Yeah, Coach, we'll use you. I'm going to give the out-of-town scores first. You want to step around here, and we'll get you on camera here, Coach, because you're a better-looking guy than we are.
I don't know.
Out-of-town scoreboard tonight, Penns Manor defeats Glendale 21-7. Portage over Juniata Valley on the road 20-6. And listen to this, Coach Lewis. Your next opponent, it's going to be Coal Bowl 2.0, right? Northern Cambria 55, Mo Valley 28.
Wow.
So Jared Lewis joining us on our first Commonwealth Bank post-game show. Coach, thanks for coming up. We appreciate it. Congratulations on the victory, and sum up your feelings right now going to the District 6 semifinals.
Yeah, we knew Homer was going to be a tough team. We played them the first time, and anytime you play a team twice, it presents certain challenges. They're physical, big, and strong, and we came out and had a couple nice drives. Then, had some turnovers, had some mistakes that stopped some of our drives, and gave them some momentum. And we knew it was going to be a battle, and they battled us for 4 quarters. I'm not surprised by that. Just quality kids, really. They really are. And also just a great coach and staff. I mean, they're good guys, and it's just you want to hope that every game's like that. A lot of respect on the field for those guys, but it seemed both ways, and I'm just proud of the way we responded. I don't care how we win as long as we win. It wasn't the prettiest game today, but all that matters is we got the victory, and we will enjoy it for today, and then look forward to next week against Northern.
You came out and flexed your muscle immediately, kind of muffed the opening kickoff a little bit. I'm sure you weren't happy with starting at your own, 13-yard line, I believe?
Yeah. But
you went on a drive that used about 8 minutes of clock and really got you off and running. You had to be pleased with that.
Absolutely. I mean, the good thing about when you have those 8-minute drives, as long as you finish them with a touchdown, is that you keep the offense off the field, and they can't score if they're not on the field. So I was proud of that, and our defense the last couple weeks has gotten beaten up a little bit, and I was proud of how we responded tonight, and I thought that our defense played pretty well tonight.
You did. Tanner Tribus, a couple of interceptions. Stockley had a big interception. Tanner Tribus, who did not have a big game in the first meeting, it was Stockley that dominated things offensively, but he rushed for 119 yards. Talk about Tribus and the night he had.
Yeah, Tribus has been our guy all year. Him and Stockley are such nice compliments to each other. It was big having Ty back this week. I'm hopeful that with another week he'll just be that much better. And and Tanner I think took it personally last time. They had a great game plan. Homer had a great game plan to limit Tribus, and he took that personally and wanted to make sure that didn't happen tonight. So I'm proud of Tanner. And obviously anytime you have a back run for 100 yards and you have those 8-minute drives, your offensive line's doing a good job, and I'm proud of the offensive line tonight.
Michael Krajosik is a playmaker for Homer Center, and he put a little bit of a scare into you. It's amazing how games and momentum can shift. His 59-yard interception return, and they score on the next play, and all of a sudden you're heading into the room with just a 7-point lead. And talk about maybe what you said at the half.
Yeah, that kid, Michael Krajosik, he's a heck of a football player. Last year, we thought we had him beat on a deep ball, and he one-handed intercepted it. Every time we play him, he makes some impact plays. So, our message at halftime was, we felt like we were in control of the game, but the scoreboard was close. It was 14-7 at that point, and we just needed to go out in the second half and play. We always wanted to get that first stop and score. We didn't score, but we made we got a couple more stops, and then eventually we did score, and then we kind of tried to eat the clock for the rest of the game.
They held you to just 42 yards in the second half on 20 plays, but you held them to 91 yards of offense in the entire game. Did they do anything differently in the second half, or you were more in safe mode?
I would say it was probably a combination. I mean, they fought us the entire time. Their D line was physical in the whole entire game, and their linebackers are good. I mean, 44 is a heck of a football player. And 72, it seemed like he was everywhere as well. So, and we said coming in, I mean, we told the kids that Homer has one of the best defenses that we're going to see. We felt that in the regular season as well, and they're just tough physical kids, and so I think they made good adjustments, and then we were trying to eat some clock and as the game went on, especially when we got that second score, or put it to 21.
This time a year ago, I was on my way back from calling the Penns Manor Glendale game, and it was your first ever playoff game. That didn't go well, 29-0 at home against Forest Hills. This one a lot better. Talk about the atmosphere here. It was fun.
Yeah, you know what? This is only our second home playoff game and our first ever home playoff victory. So I'm proud of the kids. I'm proud of the community. Both communities came out and represented well. I thought, we had some fireworks tonight, which was a nice touch as well. So I'm just proud of the fact that our kids came out and represented themselves. I know that they wanted to leave a legacy, and I think that one of the things they can hang their hat on is they're the first team to ever win a home playoff game here. So it was exciting. I thought it was a great night for high school football. Beautiful weather. And just the stands were great on both sides.
August 26th wasn't such a great night at Duffy Doherty Stadium. 35-28. Northern Cambria kind of stunned you and proved that they were for real right out of the gate. You're going to go back there. Talk about that matchup next weekend.
Yeah, honestly, we weren't that surprised. We saw a team that only lost 2 starters from the year before, or 2 or 3 starters from the year before, much like Penns Manor. When you return in the nucleus of your team, which Northern and Penns Manor did, you knew they were going to be good football teams. There's no substitute for experience. And we had some guys that was their first varsity games, and you're going down to a hostile environment, a rivalry game week 1, and we challenged the kids after that week and said, we wanted to see improvements from week 1 to week 2, and I thought we did. It's going to be a battle again. There's obviously the communities are going to be very excited about this. We've never played each other in the playoffs that I'm aware of. So, and I don't even know that we ever played each other twice in a year. I don't think so. The communities will definitely get their money's worth out of that. It should be a great game, and hopefully it's similar. Just a well played physical game, and that's what we are anticipating. And we'll see what happens.
Jared Lewis, congratulations on a 21-7 victory over Homer Center. Good luck next week at Northern Cambria.
Yes, thanks guys, and thanks for all you do for covering high school sports. Appreciate it.
It's our pleasure. Jared Lewis, head coach of the Cambria Heights Highlanders. Ward Hilliard will strap you in here for a final time and say goodnight from Cambria Heights and Patton, Pennsylvania. Cambria Heights, congratulations to them for Homer Center. It's all over, and I think we've talked about it enough. Just a lot of adversity, and things didn't break their way this year, and that's the way things happen sometimes. But any final thoughts on the season?
Well, we talked about being disappointed with them, and I'm sure they're disappointed. But like I said to the coach, I was very proud of the way they performed. They could have packed it in. They had a rough year. Things haven't gone their way, as you said, Mark, and they battled back, and that's got to make you proud as a Homer Center person and a Lar Lamar person. That's what you knew of in the program, and that's what we saw here tonight, and hopefully that will carry over into next year's team.
Ward, good working with you all season long.
You too. It's always been fun.
All right, we want to thank our wonderful sponsors, because without them, none of this is possible on WCCS. Our great partner on Renda Digital TV this year, Greyston Coral Sportsman's Club.
Yes.
They had great feedback. They've already told me, and we hope it's true, that they're interested in returning next year as our presenting sponsor on Renda Digital TV. And speaking of our digital efforts, John Smathers, just fabulous, the work that he puts in. Super incredible, John. You're not on camera. You want to put yourself on camera, John? You swing that over there. Come on over, John. Come on, get in here. And all you viewers out there, say thank you, John.
He's too big.
All right. The work he does behind the scenes, and we can't put Michael on camera back at WCCS too. Our camera people, our spotter. Dennis, you want to be on camera here? Get in here, Dennis. Come on. Everybody gets a little camera shot. They're just staring at the smile. Oh, isn't that great? Our spotter, everybody now knows who he is. All right, our entire crew, our statistician, Jerry Rossai, we can't forget him here as well, his great work. That's going to do it. We have more football next weekend, however. Renda Digital TV will be out at Pat Corrigan Field for Penns Manor when they host Portage, and we will have broadcast plans for Coal Bowl 2.0 in the playoffs as Northern Cambria will host these Cambria Heights Highlanders. Too much Cambria Heights tonight, led by Ty Stockley and Tanner Tribus. They defeat Homer Center. They're 8-3. They're on to the semifinals. Homer Center season ends at 5-6. For our entire Renda Media Sports family, good night from Cambria Heights. 21-7, Highlanders win it over the Wildcats.